dragging the bottom for oh so long, but I can feel that power running strong. It's in the air, I can feel it now. The dragon's walls are crumbling down, and it's time to fly as I say goodbye to the problems that's been dragging me down, so that we gonna rock and roll, sing from my soul, like we did when the king wore a crown. This is a declaration of my resurrection, so turn it up, roll your windows down, roll down, and as we sing along for all the world to know, rock and roll will never die. You're gonna watch it fly. Been dragging the
Folks, we're having
bottom
a little bit of problems here trying to get Olivia set up, so hang tight with us.
feel that power running strong. It's in the air, it's all around. The devil's walls are crumbling down. It's time to fly as I say goodbye to the bottle that's been dragged. Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news? Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop unfriend me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies.
Hey folks, sorry for the issue. We got it all fixed out, but we need a super huge share on Twitter, on X, on YouTube, everything. We also have seen a ton of traffic come in at YouTube. If you guys could help us out by sharing, like, and subscribe and all that stuff, thank you so much.
Think about the facts we true. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's stuff.
Ken Boner, happy birthday, buddy. Excited. Good job
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Ken.
Hey everybody, it's T.S. Dixon, author of The Woke
Tomorrow
World
night,
Virus.
so excited.
And I want to tell you that I'm pleased to be part of The Dumb Show, the Don't Unfriend Me show that you can find every weeknight at 7 p.m. on social media at The Dumb Show or on their website, thedumbshow.com. See you there.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree We can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Olivia is in the house.
Hello. We have one change from our guests, just so you know.
What?
Alan has to postpone for a couple weeks. He's coming August 15th now, as opposed to next Monday. Something came up.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Just in case you guys didn't see the intro splash screen, if you were watching Olivia and I Scramble, hold on. Oh my God, that is way too fast. Hold on. We're not even ready for you yet, so mute up your phone so we can do this. T.S. Dixon, July 24th, is tomorrow, so he'll be here in-house. Then Alan Donovan. When's Alan coming?
He's coming now. He is coming August 15th.
All right, so we're moving Alan, and then we'll find another guest to fill in for Alan Donovan. And then August will be Mandy and Jack, and then on the 8th. And then the 18th, Lisa Regina is going to be in the house. Very seldom do we start off with a caller. Let me find out if it's one of the trolls, because I did invite several trolls to the show tonight. They usually don't show up. Who's calling? Where are you from?
Who's this?
Hey, it's Frank.
Oh, hey.
Oh, Frank, you don't call in during the intro. You should know better. What's going on, man?
I know, but I had to tell you this. I could not wait, and I will not chew up.
All right, all right.
Guess who was on InfoWars this?
Guess who was on InfoWars? You. Were you?
No, T.S. Dixon.
When was he on?
It was at the end of the first 3 hours set, probably around.
Someone ban Liliana Anna, please. Go ahead.
Probably somewhere around 10 minutes to 12, quarter to 12 Eastern time. So you might be able to pull that up.
Okay.
I know they run clips of it. But it was so cool because Harrison Smith gets a phone call and he goes, "Yeah, I got a TS from Florida." And I went, "Oh, fuck, I know who that is right off the bat." And he started talking. And I'm telling you, dude, he crushed.
He always crushes.
Absolutely crushed.
Yeah, he's incredible.
I
dude.
know.
He's just
I
so
was
incredible.
So proud of him.
He's going to be. I just talked to him via phone, and he's going to be here. He's flying in. He's going to be here in the afternoon, and then him and his publicist are both going to be here. So I got him. We're taking him to dinner, and we got him all night. I'm so excited. So Frank, it's wonderful to hear that. Do me a favor. Can I let you go because I got to read something. It's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Carry on with the show. Love you guys. Take care.
No, just turn it around. You got to show the brand. There we go. Hey, Frankie, we love you, buddy. Call
Thanks,
us back
Frank.
later. We'll talk later. And we want everyone to call in. I have to read this. This is very, very important. And thanks, Frankie.
Thank you, Frank.
I've got to get Olivia in screen here because this is important. See, she does this from time to time. And she gets this little attitude, right? Like let's just be transparent. Let's just be completely honest. I gave her one of the biggest kisses that I think I've given her since we were younger. And I'm not going to go into any more detail before the show started. And I think my wife is one of the most beautiful women on the planet. But of course, every guy says that. Well, maybe some don't. I don't know. Some people hate their wives, and I hate her sometimes, but I think she's beautiful. And so I started working and just started writing something about her, right? And then she comes out of and I see her in this dress, a dress I haven't seen her in like 15 years, even 20 years. And she comes down and she's wearing this sundress, and I'm just like, holy shit. And she asked me a question. I have no idea what she said. She just asked me,
"Is this too fancy for
I still don't know
dinner?"
I still don't know what she said. I just was like, so I'm trying to keep my tongue in my mouth. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Now listen, my wife is not the same size as when I met her. When I met her, she was like 120 pounds. She was an itty bitty little thing. And I always told her, I can't wait until you get older because you're going to be a MILF. You look really young and youthful. I like older women. You're going to be gorgeous when you get older. And when she got pregnant, I told her, your body's going to change. Things are going to change. But what I didn't realize is that our love would change, and I'd be jealous at first of the kids. But then I realized I had to love the kids as much as I loved her. And then her love would be reciprocated back to me, and it would be a completely different love and a better love. And it's amazing. I'm absolutely in love with her like I've never been before, and I love my children most of the time.
Depends on the day.
So she started getting on herself, and she started, talking shit about herself, and it really ticks me off. I can't stand it when I'm fat. Well, yeah, you're bigger than you were. So what? Who cares? There's more to love. Or listen, I am a touch guy, and I don't want to start a fire with her. I don't want kindling.
I don't want to be that skinny. I just want to be able to fit into my clothes.
You do fit in your clothes, and when you take them off, it's great. So I decided I was finishing this up because I was writing this because of dinner time, and I wanted to write her an ode and a sonnet, if you will, before we get started. If any of my trolls are waiting, fuck off. You can wait a little longer. To my wife after 20, I got a downvote every fucking time, YouTube. Seriously, whoever you are, just call in and tell me who you are. Stop being such a bitch. Giving me a downvote. Seriously, I'm trying to be nice. Oh my God, Joyce Anna Banner. Dr. Solomon. Dr. Solomon's a cuck, Anna. All right. Here we go. To my wife. After 26 years. I had to change a couple things because she got an attitude problem. They say that beauty fades with time, but they've never seen yours align. Oh my God, Kat. Now, if she's going to get involved with jumping on here, okay. You're not stealing my thunder. Get in here and shut it. Come on. All right. To my wife after 26 years. They say that beauty fades with time, but they've never seen yours align. With years that only made you more grace, more light, more love to pour. I knew you then so full of fire, with eyes that dance and dreams that inspired. But what I see now runs far more deep in how you love, in what you keep. The curve of time has shaped your face, but carved it with a softer grace, and in your voice a warmer song that calms my heart when days are long. You've walked through storms without a sound, still planting peace on shaking ground. Your kindness now outshines your skin, your spirit glows from deep within. The years have painted silver strands, but left your love within my hands. You're wiser now, with softer edges, a quiet force that never hedges. You give and give without a score, and somehow find a way for more. The little things you always do remind me why I married you. Your laugh is richer, tears more rare. Your strength is woven through your care. You're not just beautiful, you are wise, a soul that sees through shallow lies. Through all the noise, you're still my truth, my first and last, my fountain of youth. Your beauty's changed, and that's the art. It's bloomed inside your patient heart. And though we've grown and stretched and tried, you're still the best thing by my side. But one thing nags, I must confess, that yogurt run, you made a mess. I love you more than words could make, but next time skip the motherfucking shake. If you're at Chick-fil-A, my dove, you better bring the yogurt that I love.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was gonna come back.
I am Nancy Pelosi at the State of the Union. Don't ever. She got milkshakes for the kids from Chick-fil-A. And of course, yogurt would be naturally coming to me. And she goes, well, they clean the house all day. And I'm like, I built you a castle. Whatever. She's like, I'll go back. I'm like, oh, when? When, during the show? Here, you can keep that. You can wipe your sniffles with it.
Thank you. I love it.
Now, please shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. All right, Yenny, come on. Come on, baby.
I didn't get a chance to say hi to her after work. That's why.
Mommy doesn't like you anymore. All right, she's cool. All right, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. And everyone's like, well, I thought this was a politics show. It is, but we like to kind of get things started. I found my coral. What is this? What color?
It's like seafoam green.
Seafoam. Yeah. What? I'm not going to say that.
That's what it is.
Like, can we say it looks like great white shark skin? Yeah.
Sure.
That sounds better. That sounds seafoam green. What a pussy. Seafoam green. Yeah, it's shark skin. Shark skin is what it is. All right, so here's the deal. Today has been insane. First of all, T.S. Dixon's in the house tomorrow. We're very excited. He's going to be in-house. He's going to be sitting right over there. And Olivia will be here too, so it'll be exciting. We've got a good show for you tonight. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. And it is, it's insane. So we're going to try to unpack it all for you. pardon the language for those that are upset. Say, well, you had a beautiful poem and you cussed. I know.
It wouldn't be us without that.
My hypocrisy has only so many boundaries.
By the way, you still have some more glitter lipstick on your lips there.
I know. I see it. I don't care. I'm embracing it. It's not the only place I've got it.
Oh my God,
so here's the things that are going on. But first, before we do that, we have to do a little promotion. It's the way it works. The Don't Unfriend Me show. If you are interested in following us, you can go to all of our social media sites. And when you go to The Dumb Show, that's DUM, it stands for Don't Unfriend Me. You can go to don'tunfriendme.com or thedumbshow.com, however you prefer. We own both. And you can sign up, find out where we're at. You can go over there and listen to all of our old shows. If you want to get caught up and you're like, geez, this show's really cool. I want to find out more. You can come over here and you can listen. You can find us right here. What's amazing is every show we've ever had on the podcast is officially here for you to listen to. And I mean, every single podcast we've ever done is right there. You can also watch our videos by going to watch. And you can get every one of our videos that we've done. Also, while you're there, you can go over to our shop and you can get clothes, books, hats, coffee, all sorts of stuff. And when I tell you, we are a 100% 5-star rated business. In fact, if you take a look right here, Judge Me, we pay for this. Judge Me has given us 234 viewed reviews. We have a Diamond J rating with them. We have an anniversary rating with them that we've been with them for more than 4 years now. Top 10% of all stores and top 10% customer service across the entire internet. That is an incredible stat. So you can go over there and rest assured that we have high quality stuff. Last but not least, you can go and donate to the show, which we are funded by you. There's no corporations. There's no kickback money from the RNC, the DNC, or Israel or Qatar or anything else. We are free form, and you can come over and donate. You put the money in you want. Doesn't matter. $20, $10, $5, $1, doesn't matter. Leave a message. You can use PayPal, Venmo, or you can use Apple Pay, debit card, credit card. It is 512 megabytes of encryption, and it's SSL certified, and it is 100% secure. So you can rest assured that when you give us a donation, it stays there as one donation and not donation to some scumbag who's going to keep taking your money. That's pretty much it. Let's rock and roll. We got a busy show to do. Olivia, did you have anything to share, or are we just going to go right into it?
No, it's just Alan was switching the date. That was it.
All right. Alan is switching the date, and that is just it.
That is it.
My favorite color in the crayon box is periwinkle. You want to call that one out? I can't see him.
Bobby Richardson, The Love, $51.99. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's more lust. I mean, it's kind of what started it, and it's just stayed. I like to say lust can't last. I disagree. So moving.
Get this off the screen. You'll have to show me later.
What?
There's something on the screen every time
Move it up to the top. Oh, no, click it. No.
Oh.
Come here. Give it to me. Right here. Sorry, I can explain it or I can just do it. Okay, that should go away. And if it doesn't, we'll fix it after the show. We'll fix it in post.
Okay.
What? What did you say?
I said okay.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said. Sorry. I'm just like trying to move on, and I thought you said that it didn't work or something. It's just, after your screw up that you had tonight, all your settings are probably messed up. Here is something. I'm going to start off with Piers Morgan. And we're going to build up because we've got a lot of news and there's a whole bunch going on. I mean, we know what's going on with Tulsi Gabbard. We understand what the Wall Street Journal and New York Times are saying about Donald Trump, that he's in the Epstein files. I mean, you guys, this is like a newborn toddler who's discovering poop. And they finally just explore their diaper and go, and throw their poop like monkeys. The Democrats haven't given a shit about Epstein for 10 years. In fact, they've never given a shit about Epstein because everything associated with Epstein was always about Bill Clinton, and they just wanted to stay away from it like the plague. Well, now they're starting to discover, and they start to care. And the mainstream media outlets are starting to recycle old Howard Stern and old marriage videos. And, so this is the latest discovery. Pam Bondi went to Donald Trump and said that his name was in the Epstein files. No shit. Everybody knows this. It's the worst kept secret in the world. Alan Dershowitz said it, and what he said was, yeah, his name came up, and there were false allegations that were disproven. But his name came up in things like flying his plane from Palm Beach to Newark, that they were friends at one point. There was a lot of things. Of course he's in there. But what Donald Trump is concerned about, based upon the briefing, is that things that were said or put in there were not in the original files. And he says, whether this is true or not, is that the deep state has inserted things about Trump to make him look bad and to associate him with Epstein. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. Or maybe they're doing their due diligence to ensure that they can get ahead of something when they release the files. I mean, that's what you probably should do if you're president of the United States, is ensure that you are getting ahead of things.
Yeah.
So they're just uncovering it. Oh my God, he was on a plane. Yeah, he was on a plane. Oh my God, in 2024, when he was campaigning, he borrowed Jeffrey Epstein's plane. First of all, Jeffrey Epstein had been dead, number one. Number two, that plane was sold to a charter company. And what they said was Donald Trump flew on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, that he's still with Epstein. It's a lie. It's a chartered plane. The tail number had been changed. It had been repainted. It was a plane that was sold. So they're really excited. Like they're just like, oh my God, we're finding out so much. And we're sitting here going, yeah, wait till you get to the Bill Clinton part. Wait till you get to the Bill Gates part. Wait till you get to some of the other people accused, like Prince Andrew. So all of this. Yeah, get Tommy Keller. Get him out of here. I'm sorry for infringing on your privacy, but I just really, really like you. And I want to, please. Nobody likes Tommy. I like Tommy, kind of. Anyway, so, it's Tammy. Oh, so no. Tommy Keller is talking to Tammy Kohler? Wow, that's too weird. Like bot, you deserve to stay in here. Pick another person and spam them too, please, for me, because that's just too weird. I thought he was talking about Tommy Coughlin. Okay. So the left, we'll talk about that, okay? We're also going to talk about James Telrico. We're going to talk a little bit about some old debates and pull up some footage. We're going to talk about Hillary Clinton and what Russia said about leaks about her and that they withheld information during the election. It's interesting. They were helping Donald Trump win the election, Liv, but they withheld information that could have been damaging to Hillary Clinton. Wow. Like, if you were trying to help Donald Trump win, wouldn't you want to release all the information you could that would hurt Hillary Clinton? Why would you stop?
Exactly.
Why would you stop? It couldn't be because of Uranium One. It couldn't be that she was soft on communism. It couldn't have been that she was soft on Russia, that she did the red button reset. It couldn't be that she was going to give Russia an easier time and go ahead and punch through Nord Stream 1 and 2. No, that couldn't be it. They wanted Donald Trump, but they didn't help him, even though they were the biggest Russian influence collusion scam that tried to steal the election. They withheld information about Hillary Clinton in order to help Donald Trump. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, does it? We'll talk about that. They also said she was on enough horse tranquilizers to kill a horse. We'll show you videos from that. I've got the actual DNI release, the declassified DNI release. Thank you to Tulsi Gabbard. Mike Johnson, I'm going to show you that Jasmine Crockett is full of shit as a Christmas goose.
We already knew that.
And she says she's from the hood, but that dog don't hunt. Jessica Tarlov got absolutely just smashed and trashed, and not in some porn video because that would be awesome. But Greg Gutfeld literally destroyed her. I mean, her glasses cracked from the impacts from Greg Gutfeld. People who threw rocks at ICE, somebody's been caught. Abrego Garcia is back in the news. Was he deported? We'll find out. And we've got some other stuff. So let's get started with Anna Kasparian, who is on the Young Turks. I think she's very pretty. She's got a timeless look about her. She looks like...
sorry.
How did that fucking happen? You didn't even move.
I moved.
How do you do that? How do you just knock shit over when you don't even move? Like you literally had no you had no reason to move. Why did you move?
I scratched my arm.
And you knocked over a 4-pound. I'm turning up the ceiling fan. I can't take this stuff anymore. It's too damn hot in here. Okay. It's 100 degrees outside. So this room is very, very cool, but we need some air. All right. So Anna Kasparian, very pretty, Lana Turner-esque, crazy as a shithouse rat. She's on Piers Morgan, and oh my God, the cat hair started flying. Like, I mean bad. Nancy Wires Gala. Something like that. I guess for the same reason that the Biden administration withheld the information on JE, and she said that would have destroyed Trump. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Right, exactly. Like, if they had this smoking gun, like pedophile, that's pretty big, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think pedophile is a pretty huge accusation. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. Let's watch this with Anna Kasparian. And it's an interesting one. And then we'll get to some other stuff here. Listen to this. This one gets pretty volatile. He even calls her a bitch and tells her to shut up. I mean, this is, yeah, you don't want to call that woman that. I don't despise her because she's actually had some decent takes, and she's sat down with Ben Shapiro. She sat down with some pretty, right people. And I don't despise this lady. But when I say she's crazy as a shithouse rat, it basically means that she will cut you if you cross a line. Here it is.
The fact that they have provided more aid into Gaza post-October 7th than pre-October 7th is something I'm very proud of. And if you believe that the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is not doing enough...
The fact that they shoot at people as they're waiting in line for humanitarian aid. Dozens of people get shot and killed literally every single day. Every single day as they're waiting for food. No, I'm not going to let you filibuster, bitch. I'm not going to let you filibuster. I'm not going to let you filibuster. You guys are totally okay with IDF soldiers shooting and killing desperate people waiting for humanitarian aid. You're okay with that. I find it so unbelievably evil. Unbelievably evil. It shocks my conscience and my soul that people as evil as this exist in this world. Okay? Watching these images, looking at these videos, seeing all these kids.
Sorry, I misread. She called him a bitch, and he's acting like a bitch. Seriously, yell at her back or something. Do something. I want to poke him with a stick.
Kids, desperate, hungry, parentless, trapped in Gaza. And you're sitting here and you're defending it. I can't stand it. I can't listen to it. The filibustering is unbearable. It's unbearable.
And what I tell you what,
I can't take it. How can you watch all those kids die?
Okay, let me bring Gideon back in here.
Will you call on Hamas right now to surrender and release the hostages? Do it. Do it right now. Say, I
called out Hamas. I called out Hamas from the very beginning. I've got no love for Hamas. It's a terrorist organization. What they did was wrong. I cried over the atrocities that they engaged in on October 7th. But you know what's so disgusting? You want to? Yes, I did. You should watch The Young Turks. That's where you'll see exactly what I had to say about Hamas after October 7th. I even trashed elements of the left who refused to criticize Hamas for what they did. Okay, so you don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to that issue.
Okay, you made that clear.
But you can't on one hand,
you
can't on one hand talk about the injustice of what Hamas did and then turn around and say it's okay if Israel does it times 1,000.
Okay.
Whoa.
She's very angry. Very, very, very. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, let's just say another country up north in gay North Dakota decide to just, for 40 years, just launch rockets and terrorize Israel or the United States or Montana. Okay.
Okay.
So let's just say it's Quebec. Quebec decides to launch rockets into Montana and fire those things, you betcha, and kill people and randomly. And then Israel tries to make peace, and Israel says, listen, Canada, we'll go ahead and bring 70,000 of your people over here. We'll give you jobs. We'll help you. We'll share our economy. We'll give you copper piping to go ahead and replace your issues with water. We'll help build infrastructure. We'll train you. We'll educate you. We'll do all these things, right?
Yes.
And then the answer to that is rockets. 90% of people in Quebec want to murder everyone in Montana and push them into Flathead Lake. And from the mountains to the lake, want to kill everyone in Montana. And then Israel says, or not Israel, but Montana says we're going to war. That's it. We're on the war path. Woo! And we're gonna go ahead and go to war with Quebec, and they start flattening Quebec, and Quebec says, well, we're gonna put our terrorist groups right next to hospitals and civilian centers, and we're gonna go ahead and launch rockets at you, and then okay, but wait, stop, peace. We want peace, and then U.S. goes. Washington, D.C. calls Montana and says, hey, Montana, it's time for peace. And they go, okay, fine. And then they do that 17 times. And finally, on the very precipice of having the Abraham Accords, which would bring peace to the Middle East, and Saudi Arabia ready to join, the proxies of Iran, which were completely built up by Obama, decide to go ahead and rain holy hellfire on October 7th and kill and slaughter Jews and cut them up and put them into receptacles in bathrooms, rape their women, gut them like fish, cut them from their anus to their vagina and let them bleed out. Listen, you can get access to the videos. You just have to have a stomach that is unbelievable. But some of the things that they did, it is some of the most horrific shit I've ever seen. And a lot of people haven't seen it. And if I was the media, I would be playing that stuff and saying, there you go. Like they played the COVID death ticker, I'd be playing those videos and showing and saying graphic content in this program. But the media station that does that changes this narrative when it comes to Hamas. But nonetheless, all those things happen, right? Does Montana have a right to defend itself?
Yes, absolutely.
Is there any limit to what they can or should or should not do?
No. I mean, they absolutely have a right to defend themselves against Quebec. Absolutely.
But what? Okay, so say they do that, and like the baby Nordiques hockey team is playing next to the empty, abandoned Quebec Nordiques NHL arena, and we hit it. And we kill the entire NHL children's hockey team, but we also get a massive munitions depot that was literally responsible for 70% of the aerial strikes into Israel over the last 20 years. Is that okay?
Yes. I have absolutely no
Yeah, because
issue.
those Canadian kids aren't going to win the cup anyway. They're from Canada. So
no, I have absolutely no issue.
But you're a mother. How can you say that? How can you say it's okay to kill kids? And this is a retort. I mean, I know the answer, but I'm asking why is it okay to kill kids? The answer is simple, right? I mean, there's only one answer to that question.
Well, it's not okay to kill kids
right, of
in
course
cold
not.
blood.
Of course, there you go. Go ahead, go sister, go.
In cold blood, just walking up to a child on the street and just killing him, absolutely not. That is not okay. But in a terrorist country, those children are trained from the time they can talk and walk to hate Israelis and hate Westerners. And they are taught how to shoot a gun at the age of 2 and 3. And
I've seen the videos.
I've seen the videos. I've seen the videos of it. I've seen what they do. I've seen how they will strap vests on children 4, 5, and 6 and send them after American troops.
And start at like 3 and put the vest on so they get comfortable
Exactly.
with it, which is just horrendous. And they're doing this in schools, giving them grenades, and these are dummy grenades and dummy weapons, but they're getting them comfortable with the idea.
And then they send them with a live vest or send them with a live bomb to go kill up Americans or Israelis or whoever. And that kid gets shot down by a sniper. And guess what? Mom comes running out screaming. She doesn't pick up her kid. She picks up the bomb and continues running.
Nothing could be further from the truth.
It is.
Or nothing could be more accurate. Excuse me.
It is just, it's horrendous. And the problem with that is with their ideology, they've been brainwashed since the day they were born to hate us no matter what, that we're evil and that we all need to die. They're going to grow up fatherless. Grandfather's dead, father's dead, possibly mother, older brother, maybe older sister, maybe they're an orphan. They're going to grow up hating us, and then they are the next generation of terrorists.
Yeah, Michelle.
And it's really, really sad. But in order to eradicate terrorists, you have to eradicate all terrorists, no matter how young. And that's just what has to happen. And I've had no issues with it.
Michelle says, my grandfather taught me to shoot at 4. Did he teach you to go kill your next door neighbor? and murder them because of their ideology?
I was taught how to shoot a 22 at 5. My dad took me in the force with 22.
I taught the same thing with my kids. I had a BB gun at 4 years old. I was shooting everything that I possibly could. There's a big difference between that. Nobody told me that I had to go kill somebody who is different than me. Nobody told me that I had to eradicate and murder women and children for the sake of good. And the more that I killed, the more prominent of a position I would have in paradise. So those things were never told to me. So
I was taught how to shoot at a young age for hunting purposes because I grew up in Montana. But guess what? I told my dad, I'm never going to shoot a deer and I'm never going to go hunting. And I still never have. But he still taught me how to shoot.
Yeah.
So
It's very different.
It's an ideology. It's not just the physical aspect of holding a gun and shooting. It's the ideology behind you holding that gun.
Yeah, and your grandfather probably did it in the effort of firearm safety and understanding, where this is the furthest thing from. They want these children to perform the most maximum insane level of carnage that they can using the weapons that they say, with absolutely no concern of their own safety, as long as it completes their mission. So they use
these children like pawns. They don't care about their safety. They use them like pawns because they think that the enemy is going to take pity because it's a child.
Right. And that's the problem. And
it's really sad. And on top of the fact that Israel has given so many warnings. We're giving you 30 days to get out.
Yeah. Nobody will take them.
Leave.
Nobody will take them.
We're giving you this time. This is when we are going to start striking and getting back. You need to be out of the country. If you don't want to die, you need to leave. And you know what? They didn't.
We shouldn't have to leave our homeland. Yes, you should.
Yes, you should.
When you allow a terroristic government and voted them in power and agree with them that 90% of all Jews need to be they need to be eradicated and killed, that 90% of the population of Gaza of adult age, which is between 18 and question mark, all believe Jews need to be eradicated and murdered. When you have that, and they will not turn in Hamas, they will not rise up against Hamas. All Gazans had to do was literally turn Hamas over. That's all they had to do. There's a reason why Beirut wasn't literally turned into a pile of ash. There was a reason why Ireland and Belfast, although the English were completely they would raid in heavily into Belfast and they would bomb areas of Belfast. Once the Irish citizens started turning in the IRA, England slowed down. Now, fuck England. The occupation of Ireland is just a travesty that I don't even want to begin with. But my point is if you want innocents to stop dying, then you must protect the innocent. And that either is by exodus, or you need to somehow exchange what that country in Israel, who has a right to protect its sovereignty, is looking for, which ultimately is to get the terrorist actions to stop. So the only way you get the terrorist actions to stop is to turn in Hamas. And if Hamas gave a flying shit about anybody in that country, they would have surrendered, but they won't, because they don't care about that. The only thing they care about is killing Jews. So I understand 40,000 Gazan children are dead. I'm sorry. It's horrible. That's horrible. But nobody gives a shit about Rwandans. And this whole pearl clutching that people have is that there are so many groups of people every single day that are being massacred and killed. Nobody cares. So it's not about who's being killed. And it's not that 40,000 people are killed. It's that you don't like Jews. So therefore, you're prosecuting Jews. I don't see anyone talking this way about Putin. I don't see anyone talking this way about Zelensky when he's killed civilians. I don't hear anything about Rwanda. I don't hear anything about Egypt. I don't hear anything about Bosnia-Herzegovina or Syria or the Congo. Nobody talks about that stuff. Why? Because you don't care. You don't give a shit about Muslim lives. You care about Hamas and Gaza lives because you don't like the Jews. If this was anyone else, nobody would give a fuck.
You know, I said this a year and a half ago, a couple months after October 7th, and I'll say it again. What was your thoughts after 9/11?
Right.
Was your thought,
right,
we want to kill them, we want to get revenge on you coming over to our country and attacking us and killing almost 3,000 Americans the way you did? Did anyone who is supporting Hamas right now, who is an American, if you said, and you supported us going into the Middle East in any way, shape, or form, or said America has a right to defend itself and we need to get revenge, then you're a fucking hypocrite.
Oh yeah, 300,000 Iraqis.
I don't
dead.
remember. Most people, I was like, turn it into a sea of glass. That's what I was after 9/11.
Sure, me too.
And I have no issue. Turn Gaza into a sea of glass. Great. I have no problem with that. You're a terrorist organization. You do this, you deserve it. War sucks, but innocence is going to, there's casualties of war, unfortunately, and it sucks. But it's the parents' fault who get them involved in this. The other thing with the whole 9/11 thing is a lot of these people who are supporting Hamas and condemning Israel for defending themselves, they were completely horrible to Muslims. Americans who are third and fourth generation Americans who just happen to have Muslim heritage and happen to have Middle Eastern heritage. And they were treated horribly in this country for many years by many people because of 9/11. And they were just as pissed off about 9/11 as we were because they're Americans. So it's just a bunch of hypocrites. And, it really does suck. My heart hurts for the innocent children that are involved in this, who unfortunately their parents have gotten them involved in this. Their parents will not get them out of the country, and their parents are putting them in the middle of this. My heart hurts for them. But unfortunately, they are the casualties of war. And I'm not willing to let Israel get flattened and stand down over those children. And if this was my children, I'd get the fuck out.
Well, we can't cuss. We gotta stop cussing. People are
Sorry.
getting upset.
Well, I'm,
People are upset because I'm cussing. And folks,
sorry.
Listen, we're adults, aren't we? If we were sitting around and we were drinking a beer, we could have a real conversation, can't we?
I don't cuss much anymore, but apparently I'm going to on very heated subjects.
Yeah. So, Frank, is that Frank Wood over there, 1951?
I think so.
So Frank says, well, Israel created Hamas. No, Israel did not create Hamas. That's not what happened. In the 80s, and this was after the first Intifada in 1979, Yasser Arafat and the Fatah were the enemies of the United States and Israel with the secular PLO. And they found them to be the main enemy, the People's Liberation Army and the resistance. And to weaken the PLO, they put inside not an insurgency at all. It was an Islamist organization. And they put it into Gaza, the Mujama al-Islamiyah or some shit like that. And these were people who built mosques and social services and schools and things to that effect. They weren't a radicalized group of people. But after the first Intifada, the Muslim Brotherhood, which is a terrorist organization, latched on and moved into the Mujama and started launching strikes and attacking Israel. So when we sit here and say, oh, well, Israel created Hamas. Yeah, we created Al-Qaeda too. But we didn't create Al-Qaeda. We abandoned and we left Osama bin Laden. We created a power vacuum inside the Middle East. We left it unregulated and untouched after Desert Storm and didn't finish our job. And this is where you have groups like the Muslim Brotherhood, JIP, the Houthis, the Hezbollah, and Hamas reared its ugly head. Now Al-Qaeda and ISIS-K. Turn down your phone. ISIS-K and other groups form out of this power vacuum. And you saw a massive cleansing from Iraq, killing Sunnis, Shiites, and Kurds after the Iraq-Iran war, and literally just destroying and murdering Muslims by the hundreds of thousands, which ultimately pushed the United States to make a decision because this power vacuum was creating instability, which ultimately would have impacted, considering that the dollar was on OPEC and the Saudi dollar was tied to the American dollar, in a volatile period of time where a lot of money was being spent. We just got done with the Cold War, and that was an ungodly amount of money to spend. And the United States found itself getting into another power vacuum in the Middle East and decided to go ahead and do regime change with Saddam Hussein. And we can sit here and say it didn't work. It did fucking work. Iraq is relatively a peaceful Middle Eastern country at this point, and it is under a republic's control. And it took 2 decades, but it's there. Now, everyone says regime change doesn't work. It doesn't unless it does, because Ukraine is regime change. And all of these people that say, Ukraine, even though it was sex trafficking and even though it was all about money laundering, mute your phone, please, was all about money laundering and everything else. And the oligarchs and the Azov battalion and the Nazi sympathizers inside of the military. But it's still considered to be a regime change, considering that the CIA put Zelensky in. So what I don't want to hear is that this is the Jews' fault. It's not Jews' fault. They have literally been doing this since 1967. And they have tried to get along with them as best they can. And the Jews never fully left Israel. Palestine was not a country. It was never in biblical times. And when we go back into the Canaanites and you go to the Jesuits, the history of this is they're not the same people. The Palestinians are not the Philistines. Palestinians were Turkish nomads and vagabonds and gypsies who landed in Israel and were given safe haven there. Then the Romans came in and fucking slaughtered Jews and gave it to and named it Palestinia, which is a Roman word. It's not even Arabic. So for people to sit here and say, well, Israel wasn't on a map, you're right, because they literally forced out the Jews. But they still had about 7% and 9% of the entire Jesuit population was in Israel. They never fully left. It's their country. And if the Native Americans somehow tomorrow rose up and Indian Nation decide to go on the warpath and they took over the U.S. government and they took their land back, and they kicked the white man off their land, is anyone going to lay waste to their claim? No, they're going to say, well, they were here first. They just won. The conqueror goes the spoils. Well, the Jews kicked the living shit out of the Palestinians and took their country back. And it took them a better part of almost 80 years to do so. So don't give me this crap. Well, actually, 130 years to do so. So don't give me this crap. Okay? Just don't do it. Because you just don't know what you're talking about. All right, caller, go ahead. I'm listening. Who are we talking to?
It's Frank again. I'm sorry to bother you.
You're not bothering me. What do you want to talk about?
Well, the thing that I said in the chat earlier about Hamas being created by Israel to get rid of Arafat. Am I wrong about that, or did I just misunderstand?
No, they didn't create Hamas. They took a group that was essentially a philanthropic group that worked on mosques and schools and philanthropy inside of what is contested Palestine/Gaza. And because the PLO and Arafat were making movements toward that area, they found the PLO, because of their secular beliefs, that it was a danger. And they felt that there would have been a place where they would have created cleansing of the Jews in this area and put an enemy in the middle of Israel. And that wound up being true, but it backfired with Hamas. But Hamas wasn't a militant group. They weren't extremists.
Well, I never said Hamas was a militant.
You said
group.
They installed Hamas. They did not install Hamas.
The point I was trying to make was the way I read things, and maybe I misunderstood, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Go ahead.
Was that the reason Israel created Hamas?
They didn't create
was
Hamas.
to take out Yasser Arafat.
They did not create Hamas.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong about that?
Yes, you're wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll accept that.
Okay, so let me explain what happened. And I said it maybe when you were dialing. 1987, the first Intifada happened. They emerged. Right. They emerged from a group called the Mujama al-Islamiyah. That group was a fundamentalist group, but they were not. They were not even really a militant group or terrorist. But they were a philanthropic group that also were fundamentalists that had a resistance. So imagine them being freedom fighters. Not like the Mujahideen, but they were still freedom fighters. Okay. Then
do you mean philanthropic in the way of Bill Gates?
No, What do you mean by giving everyone forced vaccines and buying up farmlands? No, I mean philanthropic.
No,
like what I mean by philanthropic is tunnels for towers.
Okay, all right.
Bill Gates is a fucking master manipulator who's buying up the entire world and believes people should live by his code. That's not philanthropic. That guy's just literally a conqueror, but he does it with a pen versus a sword and blood. But this group, they built mosques. They built places of worship. They built water reserves. Yes, they were a resistance group. Yes, they were fundamentalists, an Islamic fundamentalist, but they weren't a terrorist organization until the Muslim Brotherhood got a hold of them and literally radicalized them, which all Muslims wind up being radicalized who have that initiative because it's in the Quran and it's in the teachings. Well, the Muslim Brotherhood came in and started turning this group and ultimately turn them into Hamas. And then the Gazan people, the Palestinian people, moved them into a place of government and allowed them to rule and voted them into place. Israel created them as much as we created Al-Qaeda or ISIS. We didn't literally create Al-Qaeda. They didn't literally create Hamas. It was because a series of bad decisions that ultimately turned making the wrong choice by trying to stop the PLO and Arafat and putting their faith into Islamia. They ultimately...
So it was evolution from one thing into something else.
Sure. The Muslim Brotherhood and the Palestinian people created Hamas. They created Hamas. But it was the actions of Israel choosing Islamia over the PLO that ultimately allowed that decision to take place. So it's like saying ad hoc pro hocter. I don't remember what it is, but basically because of A and B, C happened.
Right.
It's a fallacy. It's a fallacy argument. You can't say because of A and B, C happened.
Isn't that known as a false fallacy?
It is a fallacy, but it's also based upon the Latin. It's also based on the Latin. God, I can't remember what. Oh yeah, it is. Post hoc ergo proctor hoc is what it is. I got the proctor, but that's what it is. Post hoc ergo proctor hoc is the saying, and it is a false equivalency. It's basically saying because of A took place and B took place, C took place. So let me give you an example. Because we have CO2 and because we have a lower oxygen level, this is why we have global warming. So you're saying two different things. Franks, we'll get back to you. We've got another call. So that's, or the saying would be, because Olivia has a tendency to get upset with me for little things and I'm unhappy because of Olivia. That is A, B equals C. And that is usually false.
Right.
Usually false. Okay, Frank, does that help?
Absolutely. And I'm sorry I called in again.
I'm not worried about it, Frank.
Chewed up so much of your time.
We love you, buddy.
But I learned so much from you, and I was wrong in what I thought I had read and how Hamas came to be because of Israel, blah, blah, blah. You know, and you just equivocated the whole thing for me in such a way that I could understand it, and now it makes sense.
Here's the formal writing. Are you ready? I'm just going to read it to you so you know. Here, just looked it up for you. In the 1980s, during the early years of the first Intifada, which is Palestinian uprising, Israel saw Yasser Arafat's Fatah and the secular PLO as its main enemy. The PLO was nationalist, militant, and internationally recognized as the face of the Palestinian resistance. To weaken the PLO, Israel allowed more freedom and funding to Islamic organizations operating in Gaza, including Mujama al-Islamiyah, the precursor to Hamas, which was focused on social services, mosques, and schools. These groups were backed by the Muslim Brotherhood and weren't initially involved in violent resistance. Israel saw them as a religious counterbalance to the PLO's armed secularism, which is the absence of religion, hoping that divided Palestinian movement would be easier to manage. Then came the twist. In 1987, during the first Intifada, Hamas formally emerged from the Mujama al-Islamiyah. as a militant Islamist resistance movement, calling for the destruction of Israel and launching attacks against both Israel military and civilians. By then, the genie was out of the bottle. So for clarification, Israel did not create Hamas, but it was tolerated and indirectly supported its earlier development, believing it could weaken the PLO. The short-term strategy ended up strengthening a much more radical enemy. Today, Hamas and Fatah are bitter rivals, and Israel now views Hamas as a top national security threat. Essentially, it's applied blowback. That's what it is. Does that make sense?
Okay, I think I know where the problem is.
What's that?
I didn't have all the information.
Right.
I had bits and pieces. But until you explain this to me now and how it generally came about, now I understand better. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, no problem, Frank. Frank, I'm going to let you go, buddy. If you have another caller, please call in. Monty Williams. Yeah, buddy. Love you too. Monty, real quick. Monty Williams.
Sorry, I just put in
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead and call it out, babe.
It is Jesus from Rumble Chat, $10. Greetings from Rome, New York. Olivia, Matt, and my dumb show friends. Thank you very much.
So you just reached out. Thank you very much for the donation. So Monty Williams says, actually, Google does say that the Romans named it Palestine. You can't even spell it right, buddy. After putting down a Jewish revolt, it says it was named after the Philistines. Might want to research a bit more. Just saying, you might want to research a bit more instead of using Google and actually read the historical contents and documents. You're wrong. You're 100% wrong. So there's a few things you need to understand is the Philistines and Palestinians have absolutely nothing to do with each other. If you would like, I'll read it to you. But Rome renamed Judea is what you're thinking of. So you're bringing up the Philistines, which are a group of people, wasn't even a country. The Philistines wasn't a country. Palestine was a country. It's a Roman word. Bar Kokhba, I believe is the name, 132, 136 BC. So here's some references that I'll give you so you can read about it. Bar Kokhba revolt in 132, 136 BC, the second major Jewish uprising against Rome, and in devastating defeat. Hundreds of villages destroyed, many killed or enslaved. Renaming Judea, 135 CE, Emperor Hadrian officially renamed the provinces Syria Palestina, a name never used before in such an official capacity as punishment as the move to erase the Jewish connection to the land completely. Punitive symbolic move. Historians agree this wasn't a regular administrative change. It was a deliberate act of de-Judaization, the only such instance where Rome renamed the province explicitly because of a rebellion. Why Palestina? The name derives from Philistia. That is the coastal region that you're referring to, not the Philistines, which are the people from Philistia. The homeland of the Philistines in the Hebrew Bible. By applying non-Jewish, geographically neutral, or even adversarial name, Rome sought to separate the region from its Jewish identity by combining Roman and removing Hebrew. So it is a Roman initiative to rename the country, to remove all forms of Judaism, and like many other people have done, which is to eliminate and eradicate the Jews from the land. So Google's full of shit. Okay, good. Any other comments?
Nope.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, that's Monty. That's the whole point. Whatever you put into Google search and AI, first of all, when you put it into Google search is going to pull up what you put in based upon what you typed, and it's going to try to fulfill what you want. AI is going to try to interpret what you want and give you what you need. Both of them are going to curtail to your biases and the things that you type in. I would encourage you not to use those tools as end-all be-alls, because the problem is with Google search is it is going to pull thousands of articles simultaneously, hundreds of thousands of articles, and it is going to use even stuff that's made up. It's going to use Wikipedia, and it's going to try to match what you're saying to give you the most relevant content of information. AI is a better tool, but remember, AI also wants to satisfy your biases in what you put in, so you must be very specific with what you're creating. And whatever striker you put in or premise you put in must be detailed. If you put in the question is, what is Philistia? They're going to go ahead and give you a very robust, generic answer. If you want to get down to and say, how did the Romans impact the naming of the Philistines, Philistia, and Palestine. And how are they related? Who were the Palestinian people? And are they the Philistines? Which they weren't. They were absolutely not. The Palestinians were a nomadic tribe. They were from Turkey. They were from surrounding areas. They were Egypt, and they were gypsies, and they were castigated out from the Muslim countries. They were separatists. They were people who were pushed out of society. And they matriculated and moved in pilgrimages to Israel. But this was done way after the Philistines. Now understand, the Philistines, if you want to find out their genetic disposition, they're more, honestly, European and Greek than they were Muslim. So if you look at the bloodlines, they came from different areas, and they certainly didn't come from the surrounding Muslim countries. The Philistines originated from Greek or in places in Europe, and that is where the Philistines came from. They're not the Palestinians. The naming is the clever ruse that was done by the Romans to declare some sort of lineage that gave them the right to have that land as they tried to eradicate the Jews from the land. The Judeans, and going back all the way to the Canaanites, had claims to that land. From Mesopotamia and the Sumerians. The Jews have claim to that land, and it's always been their land. So I appreciate your comment, but don't use Google as much as you use them.
He did say thank you.
No problem. Thanks for calling me out, dude. I appreciate it.
He said thanks for the clarification.
Sure. Thanks for calling me out. I do understand why the Romans renamed. Yeah, and that's the point. Is it would be like it would be like me going into the corporate office of Popeye's Chicken and renaming it KFC. And then years later going, this is KFC. And it's always been. It's like, well, wait a second. Wasn't it Popeye's before then? Nope, it was always KFC. Because we have an ancient script from the Civil War era that states that the recipe of the Colonel predates Popeye's. So therefore, well, yeah, but that wasn't KFC at the time. That was Church's. That's right. And that's what the C stands for in KFC. You know, so what you're basically doing is the Romans were doing what the Nazis did. They tried to erase all regula and all reference to the Jews. This is the first time it's happened. So there we go. Anything else on that, Libby?
Nope.
All right, good enough. Where are we at with donations, babe? I can't see.
$61.99. $62.
Okay.
Time for a commercial?
No.
It's 8.
No.
Or 9. It's 8.
It's 8. We got some time. We got to do a couple more things. Our numbers are good right now, and I don't want to crush it. So let's do one more segment, and then we'll do it. In a shocking moment, James Tallarico makes comments about the 2026 election, is that Donald Trump is going to steal the 2026 election. That's right. He's going to steal it. Here is the video. Now, I want you guys to watch this Tallarico. I will tell you. He is Beto O'Rourke 2.0.
Yay.
He's all flash. He's got a lot of the liberal talk. By the way, someone else called on the phone. Whoever you were, please call back. I accidentally kicked you off with Frank. I apologize. So let's listen to this guy. But I warn you, this is like, if you guys are looking for someone who might make a run in 2028 as a VP candidate, I don't think he has the chops to do president. But he's a unifier. He speaks fairly eloquently, but I want you to listen to what he has to say. Olivia, we'll get your comment when we watch this. Here it is.
Okay.
Clear about what's happening. Donald Trump is attempting to rig the next election. He and his allies in Congress just passed the largest transfer of wealth in American history with their big, beautiful bill. They're literally kicking millions of people off their health care to fund tax cuts for billionaires. And they know it's unpopular, but they don't care because they have a plan. Donald Trump just called Governor Abbott and told him to redraw the political maps in Texas to gain 5 more Republican seats so they can protect their majority no matter what the election outcomes are. I mean, this is the rot at the core of our broken political system. Politicians choosing their voters instead of voters picking their politicians. In any other industry, this would be called a conflict of interest. And
is this like when Joe Biden was the qualified candidate in the primary, but then they installed Kamala Harris and didn't ask anybody? Is it like that, Liv?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Does that sound familiar? I don't think that's the same thing. I think you're overreacting, Liv. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that doesn't sound Let's listen to me. Let's make sure that's not what he said, because, I really care about this. Here it is.
This is the rot at the core of our broken political system. Politicians choosing their voters instead of voters picking their politicians. In any other industry, this would be called a conflict of interest. And so Democrats here in Texas are going to do everything we can to stop this power grab, because if it happens here in Texas, they're going to do it in every red state across the country. They're going to,
unless it's for the president of the United States, I guess. The first black, Jamaican, Indian, cackling hyena.
Rig the 2026 midterms. We're obviously in the minority here in Texas. We've been in the minority for about 30 years, so we've learned.
It's going to stay that way.
Yeah.
You were a minority even 30 years ago, but that's just because a horrible selection on the Republican ticket against Kennedy.
Learned how to use every tool in our toolbox to fight for people and deliver for people. So we have the rules. We can use the rules to figure out how to slow things down and how to kill bad bills. We can use our platforms to organize people like we're doing out here in Plano. We can also deny quorum because they need all the Democrats to show up to be able to conduct business. We did that in 2021 to stop their voter suppression bill. And so these tactics are all things that we can use and employ to try to prevent this power grab from actually happening. And so I'm going to be talking to my colleagues here at the state capitol and figuring out what tools we can use to fight for people and protect this democracy.
What is the one saying that we always say about the Democrats? When they are saying you're doing something, what does it mean?
They're doing it.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're
absolutely doing it.
Right. Here is Jasmine Cockett talking about redistricting and redrawing lines. And I want you to listen to her accent.
We also,
because this is so classic. This is tied together. Remember, they were accusing Republicans of redrawing districting lines in Texas and other places. Here is her calling for it in California, in New York. I can't see it.
Joseph Hillstrom, look on the bright side of life. Monty Python's The Life of Brian movie, 2110. Thank you so much.
Outstanding. I'm more of a Holy Grail fan, but I appreciate it. The knights who say icky, 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 Wolbang Z. Oh, knights who have recently said knee.
we also know that there are donors that I'm sure are going to be willing to make sure that they are investing and making sure that they can take down some of these candidates. Since they don't want to rule out dark money, I'm sure some dark money gonna pour in on the behalf of the American people. So what I am saying is every tactic, as well as making sure we're touching people. We also know.
So very much Tellerico reminds you of Obama. He also very much reminds me of Beto O'Rourke. And Texas is not going purple. It's not going blue. Don't worry about that, please. I'm telling you right now. I do want to show you something before we get to the real Jasmine Crockett, which is interesting. By the way, the coward, what is your name? Matthew George, who I have literally just been spanking in the comments today. I mean, this guy has just been getting effing obliterated. I mean, I have destroyed some trolls before, but this poor guy, like, I have caught him in so many lies, and I'm just bringing receipts and trashing on him. But this happened earlier, and I figured you guys would get a kick out of this. Let me close that. We'll show this one, Jasmine, and then we'll give Olivia a potty break. So this guy came on, and his name was Benny Myers. And this was based on the meme that I made. And I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it. I'll pull it up. But it essentially says the people who are accusing and Donald Trump of ready to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell are the same people that told you that Hunter Biden would never be pardoned by Joe Biden. So this guy comes on here and he basically says, so what's the big deal about a pardon for here and a pardon for here? It's just a pardon. Does it matter? I'm like, tell me you don't understand the meme without telling me you don't understand the meme. He's like, I understand the meme just fine. I said, it sounds like you don't. You don't understand what language I'm saying. Would you like me to use Ebonics? And he says, you're a fucking racist. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm trying to offer you some help. Here, let me do it for you. And I said, let me say it in a way you can comprehend since you completely missed the point. Look, bruh, everybody was talking wild saying Biden wasn't gun pardon Hunter. He did that slick. Now them same folks swearing Trump gonna let Maxwell walk. Man, please. He ain't doing that. They be wrong again. You feel me, dog?
Oh my God.
Carla says, oh my God, I love your brutal takedowns. Hilarious every single time.
Oh my God, dear. Oh.
This reminds me of Jasmine Crockett. Listen, can I, liberal, warning. Just listen, this should come with a, do not bring case of emergency. I've been doing this for 4.5 years. My kung fu is well beyond snatching a pebble from my hand. I am Neo. You're not going to win in an argument. I don't care who you are. It is like going to an insult comic and trying to talk shit about that person at a comedy show. You're going to get stomped. I've been doing this way too long. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I have some of the smartest people who come at me. I have some of the dumbest bricks who come at me. And I now pretty much see everyone as inferior to me. So you're not going to win. You're not going to win because ultimately it comes down to this. I don't make an argument unless I have the facts. And you're going to sit here and Donald Trump's a pedophile. Sweet. Show me a picture. Show me a link. Show me an email. Show me a transcript, an affidavit, anything. Show me a parking ticket. Give me one piece of exculpatory evidence and I'll give you $10,000. Nobody can do it because you can't do it. Because there has never been charges brought against Donald Trump for sexual misconduct, rape, or spending time with children. Never. Agent Carroll, dude, civil. The preponderance of evidence in a civil trial is completely different. All you have to do is show up, and 70% of those cases go for the plaintiff. Just because people get sick and tired of fucking spending $500 an hour on a lawyer. So don't give me that Donald Trump, there's any evidence of this. There's no evidence of Biden either. Yes, I know what Ashley Biden's diary said. I get it. I know I've seen him sniff 100 girls, but he's never been charged. He's never been indicted. He's never had a formal inquiry. He's never even had a parking ticket. So until you see that, everything you're saying is speculative. And in the court of law, if you don't have a mind of a lawyer, you shouldn't be talking law. And all lawyers work on exculpatory evidence. If you don't have it, you don't have a case. So the same thing goes for Biden. When people call him a pedo, I'm like, you know what? I don't buy into that shit. If he's weird, he sniffs kids, he sniffs women. He's got some very strange mannerisms. Ashley Biden wrote it in her diary. Very, very strange. There's been Tara Reid accused. There's been a lot. Okay, I get it. All of that, but all of it's speculative until it's proven in the court of law. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. That's the way I think. So when they come in here and they try to argue about Trump, I just turn it around on them. Provide one bit of evidence. I don't have it. Well, then you're done. Your conversation's over. You lose. Fuck you, dude. You're a Nazi magtard. Yes, I am. 100% proud of it. Zeke Heil, bitch. All right. So let's do this Jasmine Crockett. I wanted you to hear how she sounded previously to now. And then and sorry for cussing so much tonight. I'm a little fired up. I've been with the trolls all day and I can't cuss with the trolls because I will get blacklisted and banned and they will hit me with a strike. So I've got to be very polite and I have to tell them to F off without them knowing. So when I get on the show, I get a little fiery. So I'm sorry I'm cussing so much tonight. I will try to reel it back in. Jasmine Crockett being fake as a $3 bill. I want you to listen. She sounds like Oprah. And then, hell, y'all, what's she? Ate my collard greens. So fake. It's so fake. It's like hot sauce in my bag swag with Hillary Clinton. Have you seen this, Liv?
No.
All right, here it is.
Absolutely. First of all, it's good to see you in the new year. You know, no one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan was. But what I've always decided is that I would step up when there was a need. Listen.
Oh my God. Like, I want world peace. And
look, she's gonna cry again. If I only had a brain.
I mean, how many speech classes do you think she went through in order to get to hide her? Well, I don't even think her ghetto was ever here. Listen to this. This is so fake.
He's spewing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know. But when she called me and said, I think it's time for me to retire, and you're the one that I believe should take my seat. I really was kind of caught off guard. I didn't anticipate that. If anyone knows anything about the Congresswoman, they know. We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do, for sure. We got some cool shirts. You know, the congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat. And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services and things like that. We got Madam Williams, who just happens to have the honorary seat. It's not even honorary because she's holding it down, y'all. But the legend himself, John Lewis, that is the seat in which she currently serves. So she honored his legacy. This is the message that she wanted to send today.
This reminds me of this, Liv.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Are you getting information right now?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in my bag, swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I want you to know,
See
people
you
want
in
to
the
see
new
this and say,
year.
okay, she's pandering to black
You
people.
know, no one could have told me
Is it working?
that when I
Okay.
went down to Austin.
Is it working?
Now it looks like a little bit over a year ago.
Folks, we'll be right back. We are desperately at 8309. I understand people are excited for the show. They enjoyed the poem. They haven't had a chance to donate. They haven't a chance to have a pee break. Well, we hate going past 8:30. I trust the Don't Unfriend Me Nation completely. $220 shy of our goal. We have been crushing our goal the last few nights, and it's needed, and we appreciate it, and it keeps the show going and keeps us on. You know, we can't grift without you. So keep helping us grift and stealing your retirement money, because that's what we're all about here at the Don't Unfriend Me Show. I love that the trolls said that. You guys are awesome. Yeah, trolls, you guys make my day. We literally had something like 970,000 interactions today, and it had everything to do with our trolls. That one guy posted 75 times in 3 hours. 75 times. He said he was going to come on this. He wanted me to define tariffs. This was after I caught him lying about airplanes, caught him lying about me, saying I was deleting his posts and then going back and taking pictures and showing him. And then he's like, oh yeah, well, you didn't define the word tariffs. And I'm like, tariffs. You are a douche plow. There it is. Tariffs. Folks, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Olivia Spear, host of The Dumb Show. For 3.5 years, we never asked for donations, but after Facebook demonetized us for speaking the truth, we've had to turn to the one thing big tech can't cancel.
Joseph, call back after the break. The phone lines are open, dude. Do you know how to use a phone?
I'm Hayden, Matt and Olivia's daughter. This show's never chased sponsors or sold out. We've built something honest, and it's thanks to you.
I'm Ethan, their son. Every share, every dollar, every message, you're the reason we can keep calling out the BS and bringing color back to the world going gray.
If you want to help, we take PayPal, Venmo, or snail mail. You can send it to P.O. Box 2, Round Hill, Virginia 20142.
Can't donate? No problem. Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored. You can donate at thedumbshow.com/donate.
You know what happens when you turn the dial harder? You can make a harder grimace. The harder you grimace, the more effective it is.
You tighten it so freaking I can't do it. I can't untighten it.
That's what she said.
That's what she's. Oof. Oof. Coming in with it. Pound it. Pound it. Pound.
Child gets 15.
Ethan, you look like a hippie.
Totally tubular.
You know this is recording, right?
Okay, let's go. Smile. Donate. Don't start with me. Donations. Every time you don't smile, I'm going to punch you in the ribs. Donations. Take one. Scene one. Ready. Set. Ethan.
Break.
Ready. Don't screw it up.
Okay.
Ethan, don't mess this up. Ready. Set. Action. No. Whoa. Director calls action, not some stupid toddler.
But we've built something
There's no but there. Why do you've been doing this since you were 2 years old. Try it again.
Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
He's so much better than you at everything.
He's better at
Hayden, he's just like, even, it's just, go ahead, Hayden.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored.
That's a wrap. Well done, Spear family. I bet we make no money.
But we're gonna owe them money without.
Hayden, do your thing. again?
Oh yeah, cut it.
Baby shark doo 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 doo.
Yes, thank you for your support, the Don't Unfriend Me show. We're sorry, we always lose like 10 people when we do that commercial, then they come back. I think they're probably afraid to pee with their phone in their hands, so they get off. Folks, the sound doesn't transfer into the show. We do appreciate you. Donations, just to let you know, quick reveal, we are sitting at $83.09. That is definitely the slowest night we've had in a while. But it's one of our busiest nights on the show, which is really kind of strange. Not sure why. But hang in there. We've got more for you, and we'll be bringing it to you straight up. Are you a Gutfeld fan?
Yeah, I like him. I enjoy him.
Now, I never really asked you. Joseph, 27620021005. It's not hard, dude. Call the phone. Joseph, I'm really starting to wonder if you're a coach for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It would make sense.
Why?
Because he can't figure out how to dial a phone. And they can't figure out how to get past the second round. So they got to correlate somewhere. Ginger says, I bring my phone into the bathroom with me. That's great. There's nothing wrong with it. Honestly, I'm waiting for the day that all of a sudden we have somebody on hold and someone pees and they forget to mute the phone, and I'm just going to laugh my ass off. What do you think of Jessica Tarlov? Seriously.
There are days, I think she's very pretty.
Yeah, me too.
There
She
are
is.
days
like
where...
when we say pretty, what type of pretty? Like, is she beautiful, or is she teacher, or is she mom pretty? What type of pretty is she? Because like you have natural beauty. You don't need makeup. You look good in a t-shirt. You look good rolling out of bed. You look good with a cat hanging from your head. So what type of pretty is Jessica Tarlov?
You know what? I've never classified different women and their prettiness into categories, so I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know either. I just was wondering because I think there are days that she's like, when she talks, she ruins it. You know what I mean? It kind of
she kind of has a high squeaky voice. There are days when, okay, she's not as bad as Juan.
Oh God, no. Oh, I would take Jessica Tarlov every day of the week over Geraldo Rivera and Juan.
If I had a choice, I'd rather have the other dude.
Oh yeah,
Gerald? No, not
Harold Ford Jr. Oh
yes,
yeah,
I'd rather have a Harold.
I would rather have Harold Ford Jr. too. See, it took the Toronto comment to work. Hey, you're on the Don't Unfriend Me show. Who are we talking to?
It'd be probably Joseph.
Jeez, man, did you finally figure out how to use the phone? What made it finally work?
Here, hold on a second.
Can you not hear me?
Okay.
All right, Joseph. Hi, long time no talk. In fact, I don't think we've ever.
I know.
So how are you, man? What do you want to talk about tonight? Thanks for calling in.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been a long time. Well, maybe a month or so.
Yeah, that's a long time
Anyways,
for me.
did you have a chance to watch Tulsi, your favorite girl there?
Yeah, she's coming up here in a few. She's coming up here in a few minutes. I'm kind of saving that for the last.
I knew it. It's big news, but I just want to hear your perspective.
I'm going to give it to you.
Think it's okay? Well, do you think it's the Democrats are saying it's a diversion from the Epstein files and all that, and that Trump is driving this to divert against that?
Here's my take: is that the Democrats went global thermonuclear on Donald Trump, and not more than once, and they did it from trying to take his life away, trying to take his finances away, and killing him. And Donald Trump had enough. And the moment that he caught wind that they were going to start fanning the flames on the Epstein stuff, he started to prepare. And then I believe the Democrats started to prepare. And led by Obama. The moment that Tapper, Brennan, and Comey and Obama got wind, and Rice got wind that Donald Trump was literally investigating them, they started working on a distraction themselves. And that's what was the Epstein files. And they did a preliminary shot across the bow because Pam Bondi ultimately helped them. They knew that Pam Bondi got way ahead of herself when she promised all these releases because they know what was in the files.
Yep.
And the Democrats knew. So the moment that she said that and committed that, and then they started hearing the rumblings of Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Susan Wiles and all this stuff going around, and then you had the leak, all those leaks to Axios, there was definitely who can get to teacher first mentality. And I think the Democrats struck first blood with the Epstein files, and then Donald Trump, knowing his name was in it, and honestly trying to investigate how his name got involved, because some of those things must have been fictitious and some of those things were real. And everyone knows that Donald Trump's in the Epstein files. We all know this, but to what extent we don't. So I think Trump was basically saying to his people, trying to dog whistle to everybody and saying, hey, back off of this. This is Democrats. They're trying to set us up. We've got more important things to do. And no one really listened. For the first time, all the Qers ignored him. Nobody listened to what he was saying. And he's saying, back off of this, guys. There's a reason why. And we're trying to. And then I believe they were rushed and forced to release the Obama stuff in order to get it out there and change the narrative. And they are. But the media, and I've got several things to show you, are starting to leak. Slow, drip, drip, drip. All the things they released in 16, all the things they released in 20 and 2024 are all coming back. And they are trying desperately to associate Epstein and Trump together to change the narrative on Obama. This is literally culture warfare being played out from left and right over the media. This is a civil war of information that is taking place where honestly the corrupt forms of both parties are literally going head to head through the media right now. That's what's happening. All the talking heads, all the people who are on the Blue Anon side, all the people who are on the QAnon side, the alt-right, the paid protagonists from Qatarian to Israeli, everybody's coming after each other. And I'm sitting here eating popcorn, just loving it, gaining viewers.
Yeah, the thing is, I want your take on, in my opinion, this is mine, Obama is 100% guilty of the whole corruption from, the top down.
Yeah.
With Hillary and the whole deal.
Okay.
But he was the one that called the shot.
Sure. Sure he did.
I think it's all in all the documentation.
Yep, it is.
I haven't seen it. No one's seen it. But, yeah, I mean, he's implicated. But what the hell will happen to him?
Nothing.
What's your opinion
nothing.
in terms
Absolutely
of...
nothing. Nothing will happen.
So do you think Trump will go after Comey and Clapper? And
yes.
Is that what they're going to fall?
I don't know about that. Let me explain some things. Is the kiss of death the one thing? What was the one thing that saved Trump's hide from all these decisions and these court cases they had against him, from Georgia to Florida to the New York to Letitia James to Alvin Bragg to
Fannie Willis, and the other fuckstick who went after him for the J6 stuff.
Florida?
No, the J6 guy in
Florida?
Washington. No, the J6
okay.
Special prosecutor. That I don't care. It doesn't matter. But what was the one thing that saved his ass? Do you know?
Well, yeah, I do, kind of.
What happened?
I don't know exactly.
Do you remember why they dismissed all these cases? There was only one reason, Joseph. They dismissed these cases for what reason?
Not enough evidence?
No. Presidential immunity. Presidential immunity. And he took that case to the Supreme Court and he won. And it gave him immunity and they backed off. The moment he became president, he was done. While he was in office, that's what they decided. What?
Yeah, but does Obama have presidential immunity?
Yes, he's the president of the United States. And the Supreme Court decided when you're... Hold on, you asked the question. Let me answer it for you. While you're in role as the president of the United States, your duties are protected under your job qualifications. And this was decided by the Supreme Court. And it says absolute immunity for core constitutional functions as president. This includes actions like military command, issuing pardons, negotiating treaties, vetoing legislation, and similar duties. Presumptive immunity for all other official acts, meaning most presidential actions are shielded unless clearly proven to be personal and not tied to the official duties. No immunity for unofficial or private acts, even if committed while in office. That was the Supreme Court decision, and that gave Donald Trump qualified immunity. It's going to pass to Obama. It's going to pass to Biden. Whatever they did inside the purview of their job. And Obama can say this, listen, we had to investigate him. We thought he was a Russian asset. We had to do these things. We had to spy on his campaign. It wasn't for personal reasons. It was for national security. Who else is going to do the job to vet these people except us? It's our job. Of course, it's a conflict of interest. I was just doing my job. That's what he's going to say. And he's going to get away with it. And when they go after Ketanji Brown Jackson and try to say the auto pin, you know what they're going to do? This is going to be it. Former President Biden, how are you today, sir? Fine. Good to have you here. Thank you, sir, for coming from Rehoboth and making the drive down to Washington, D.C. We just wanted to ask you a few questions. Okay. Did you authorize and nominate Ketanji Brown Jackson? Yes, I did. Okay, dismissed. Because that's what's going to happen. These people will not be held accountable. Ever. They can't be.
Oh, they're slippery.
It's not slippery. It comes down to that they're going to protect the establishment because they don't care. Their idea is one man getting away with everything is better than bringing the entire country down in the eyes of the world. If you go ahead and imprison Obama and you arrest him, everything he worked on, every piece of legislation he worked on, every commuted sentence that he did, it all literally falls apart. Well, then they go after Trump. Then they go after Bush. Then they get him for war crimes. And it literally will unravel the government. They'll never let it happen. I'm not saying it shouldn't happen. I'm just letting you know it won't happen.
Well, I'm not.
I'm sorry, Joseph. I don't mean to piss in your Wheaties. I'm just telling you the truth.
Well, yeah. I agree with you actually on that deal because certain people are untouchable, especially the president of the United States.
Yeah.
That you're not going to, and I don't think Trump's after Obama.
No, I think he's telling Obama to back off.
Yep.
He's sending a very clear message that if you want to play hardball, I now know how to play hardball. And I've got the people in place in all the right places to play hardball with you. But the truth is that the convicts will never hold the jailhouse accountable. And these are the people who are corrupt. These are the people who put us $37 trillion in debt. These are the people who have sent our sons and daughters to endless wars. These are the people who have slush funds, millions of dollars in slush funds to take care of their concubines and their sexual assault cases, and they use taxpayer money. These are people who launder money into Ukraine. These are people who've lost money through USAID and lost over $9 trillion in the defense budget over the last 20 years. None of them. They're all fucking dirty.
Well, you ever seen the movie The Untouchables?
I've seen it
100
times.
Untouchables. Yeah.
Well, the Untouchables got touched, by the way.
I know they did finally, but
they got touched.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're.
I think being MAGA, you're thinking drain the swamp. We're going to get to this. We're going to get to the bottom of it. But I think it's so entrenched that Trump found out that I can't, I can scratch the surface, but I can't get to the top.
Yeah.
If you could knock down a few of them, that would be great.
Well, I just want to see one arrest. That's what I want to see. I want to show that you know what, you guys listen. The show that I just wrote will be on tomorrow, and it's pretty powerful. I mean, it goes off pretty bad. Like I take Obama to task, and I'm pretty hot over it. That'll be on tomorrow. But it's not going to be, you will get Donnie Baker to call in. Donnie Baker, anyone can call in. I don't know who Donnie Baker is. But it just comes down to this, Joseph, just to be honest with you. I don't have all the answers, but I have been doing this for 45 years. I've been watching politics since I've been 6, 7 years old. And the one thing I know throughout the history is that the small fish may be sacrificed, but the big fish will never, ever be held accountable for what they've done. And this is through the check savings and loan scandal, the check writing scandal. This is through the dot-com bubble. This is from savings and loan scandal. This is from the real estate lending practices. This is from pallets full of cash, Uranium One, Fast and Furious, the Mojahedin, Iran, literally the Afghanistan, a proxy war, John F. Kennedy, Ollie North, and the Iran-Contra. I mean, it just goes on all fucking day. Nobody will ever be held accountable.
Well, even the Epstein files, no one's going to be it.
No, there's too much money involved.
Accountable.
No, there's too much. There's too much money involved.
Billions.
So Maria asked an interesting question. Libby, do you know the answer to this? If Obama had committed murder, could he do jail time?
You know what? I don't think he will if he's president.
He did murder somebody. He killed an American citizen with a drone. Yeah. He killed an American citizen with a drone strike without due process. But once again, they justified it as a wartime action, and he is allowed to do it. But can he go out in the middle of the street and shoot somebody for national security purposes? He can. He sure can. He absolutely can. Because that is what we've said. If it's under the purview of his role, and he is the executive, he is responsible to enforce the laws. And if there is some sort of person committing a crime and he decides to go and hang them, can he do that? Yes, with due process he can, but due process doesn't mean a full trial with a jury of your peers. Due process means that I can make this person a terrorist and a threat to national security, and I can have him murdered summarily. Do you understand?
Well, how many people did he murder with drones?
246, 246 different people. And listen, most of them are terrorists, and I don't care. But in fact, I'm glad he did it, and even the American citizen. But the point is don't tell me about due process and then do that. Hey, Joseph, I got to let you go, buddy. I love you, man. I hope you're doing well.
All right, you take care.
All right, Bubba. Talk to
you
soon.
Olivia.
Love you. Thanks, Joseph.
Love you, Olivia.
Love you too, Joseph.
Love you, Matthew.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, Joseph. All right. Hopefully we got some donations to put in.
Yes,
Thanks, buddy.
we do.
All right, throw those in there, and then we want to show this video. Okay. Do you want me to show the video instead?
Yes.
All right. Here is Greg Gutfeld. Literally, I don't hate Jessica Tarlov. She even jokes around. She's like, I'm the sacrificial liberal at the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I tolerate her. There are days she's funny and there are days I agree. I do like the fact that she just doesn't open her mouth to disagree like Juan did. He all he did was say the opposite of whatever anyone said at the table. She comes with what she thinks are her receipts, and majority of the time she is wrong. But at least she has conviction.
Yeah.
And she's not rude and snotty when she says it.
No, and I've said this 100 times. When she was pregnant and Jesse reached over and touched her stomach in a bit, and everyone around the table flipped out, even Greg, and they were mad. My understanding during the break is people went to Jesse and said, you can't fucking touch her. You can't do, what are you doing? In fact, several people, Judge Janine said it, Greg said it. I think Dana Perino was there too, and they all were like, Jesse, you can't touch her. And she goes, we're friends. Don't worry about it. He can do that. And she defended him. Now, anyone else, like some of these other Gretchen and the other douchebag females who basically just cashed in, she could have sued. And she could have sued him for $20 million. Emotional damage. He physically assaulted me. He touched my child. He touched me in a sexual way. I'm hanging high, and where he touched me was like just literally right above my pubic region. She could have done whatever she wants. She could have said, and it would have been done for Jesse. She didn't do that. She simply said, he's my friend. And he can do that, and it's okay. That's it. So I got to give her props for that. Otherwise, I don't love her takes, but you know what? At least she's better than one. But anyway, she gets destroyed by Gutfeld. Gutfeld just destroys her. Like literally, her mascara should just. Yeah, I don't know who Donnie Baker is. I'm sorry. I don't know everything, guys. I know you don't know that, but I don't. Here is Tarlov and Gutfeld.
Hillary, and they get activated, and suddenly they won't be mad at Trump anymore for not releasing the Epstein files or whatever he had to do with any of it. It's preposterous that we were talking about Hillary Clinton's emails again in
we
year
no
2025.
Choice. We spent years on this story.
Is?
No, let me. We had to take this story seriously for years, and it was false.
It wasn't false.
No. For people to understand what happened, all right? Because the problem with this story is that nobody knows what you're talking about.
Yep.
When Trump won in 2016, the intel community concluded that Russia didn't have a hand in his victory.
Yep.
Instead of accepting the inclusion, Obama determined and wanted a new conclusion. So he sent Brennan running to come up with a new collusion, that there was some kind of trivial involvement that then they could feed out to the media. And coincidentally, dozens of news organizations said that Trump was in bed with Putin and that somehow Brennan knew. Brennan knew. How did he know?
Why
there was no proof. There was no proof. There was no proof.
Why did Durham do nothing then?
But no, let me finish. They amplified a false conclusion that Trump colluded with Russia in 2016. We had to spend years dealing with that. And now we're actually getting investigation, and you're saying, no, you know what? You guys should just move on. You guys should just move. You're saying the same effing thing about Biden's brain. You guys spent 4 years telling us that Joe Biden was fine. You covered up for an invalid. And then when we get the truth, it's like, oh, you know what? It's time. We got to look forward. We got to start talking about what's there. And you can bring up Epstein all you want. We, unlike Democrats, we can handle 2 things, 3 things, 4 things at once.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, no. Have you been listening to the right lately? The right is more on top of Epstein than the Democrats are. The Democrats never cared about Epstein until they saw a political motivation. The right was into the Epstein story because women were being sex trafficked. We actually cared. But now you're like, ooh, Epstein, a political angle. Ooh, this is fantastic. Save me your selective outrage.
Just fucking decimate.
Yep.
Like this is why liberals don't come on this show, because this is reminiscent of what happens here. Because Greg is just spitting facts, because it's not about whataboutism. It's literally exposing their hypocrisy in front of them and making them take a giant bite of that shit sandwich that they've been trying to feed us.
Yep.
So all you have to do is have a memory. And people will just throw hypocrisy all over. But what's funny is I've had a lot of people come on the show and debate me and argue with me, but it's funny how they never throw my hypocrisy back in my face, because I don't play the hypocritical game. I hold the standard to everybody. And my filter is this: the law. Oh, well, Donald Trump had 34 felonies. Donald Trump had 34 elevated misdemeanors that were all on the same fucking thing. It would be like going on Excel and going add line, 34 times and making the same clerical error. That's what they did. That's not law. That's using the law as a weapon. That's you creating where there's no victim, no criminal intent, and subjugating that into the narrative so you can hold someone accountable for something they didn't do. So you can always say he's a felon. But it's amazing. He'll never be sentenced for it. And he's going to win the appeal on E. Jean Carroll. Everything was thrown out. So all these things that they did, everything that they did, it's all for show. There's no accountability. So finally, are we going to get some things exposed? Sure.
I hope.
I think Trump and the team is saying, you know what? Gloves are off. Fuck it. We're done. We tried being nice, and that's what tariffs are about. Like, when you sum up his first term, Trump wants to be a nice guy and doesn't know how. You want to do his second term or his 2020 run? I'm just going to call out what I see, and I'm going to have something taken away from me that I don't understand. And I know it happened, but I don't know how it happened. Wish he would have listened to this show. Because we wound up being right. 2024, is the Empire Strikes Back. And he's saying, okay, you blew up the Death Star. That's fine. But we're going to take Luke's hand. Just escape out with your control. We're going to go ahead and take Luke's hand. We're going to make sure Yoda dies of old age. Honey, grab your remote.
Oh.
And just hit exit on your remote. There you go. So, and the Empire is like, we're done with these rebels. Like, and I'm not comparing Darth to Trump. What I'm saying is like, we're not going to take it anymore. And if you really want to make the comparison to the other two terms, where the first one is like, I'm going to be a nice guy, but I don't know how to be. And the second term was, I'm going to be tough and I'm going to call them out and we're going to continue to stay the course and I'm going to sell division to America. And then this one is IDGAF. I don't give a flip.
My give a fucks are on vacation.
That's right. I've got 0 fucks to give.
Yep.
That next press secretary, Matthew and Spear. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I could handle their idiocy. Go ahead. Get them all in.
Paul Rivera, great show as always. Come on, dummies. I dare you. 2110.
104.19. Olivia's got something to put in, so yes. I have a feeling it's going to get busy. We are going to go to the next segment here. I want to show you CNN and what they're doing. They are desperately trying to tie Epstein to Donald Trump in every way, shape, or form. They're going to do whatever they can. And I'm going to show you this. And then we're going to get to Tulsi Gabbard because there's a whole bunch.
I'm just going to put in donations.
Got some stuff to show you from Eli Crane. Want to show you Levitt.
Angela Hills, thanks for another great show. $20. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angela. Now we're cooking. Good to see this. Thomas Griffith says, Matt, Olivia, I love you effers. It's great. Thank you. We love it too.
We love you too.
Utah. Give me 2. Got some more?
Yes. Sandra Edwards, $5.
Sandra Edwards, $5. Thank you, Sandra. $129.19. We're starting to get there. We're gonna need some. We're gonna need some big ones here. We're gonna need some whales to come in order to hit it tonight. 129. We are 12 minutes away. It's looking pretty bleak. Donald Thompson in with
$20.25.
$20.25 from Donald Thompson. Thanks, Donald. Appreciate you very, very much. Puts us at 149, halfway there, living on a prayer. Whoa.
Mel.
I
love you, Mel, but
Mel, knock it off.
Seriously?
We
love you, but...
You need to mellow. Come on, Mel. William Mathis. Yeah, I know. Facebook's doing pretty good. We're starting to break the algorithm on Facebook a little bit. YouTube is actually outperforming X, which is crazy. Welcome all YouTubers. We have a YouTube video that's doing pretty well. It's bringing in some Democrats too, which is crazy. And they're sticking around. $100. That was the Nazi video I did yesterday. They seem to like it. 103.48.
Let's go, dummies. Go for gold. Thank you.
I love you. 252.92. Are we good? Or do you have more? Oh boy. Jeez, people. Well,
I read the comments beforehand.
Jennifer McCarver's in, and she's got a comment that I think she's going to want to read. Amy said to effing donate, so I effing donated. I love you both and my dumb fam, Jennifer. Jen's like, I think Jem is like you know how you have the rookie of the year? I think she might be our rookie of the year. Like, she's fairly new. She came in like a storm, bought some stuff, donates all the time, and it's really nice to see her doing this. We already read it. Just get it in there.
I know. I put it in so everyone can see it. It's finicky sometimes.
We're going to need some big ones here if we're going to hit it. That's what she said. Olivia's never asked for a big one in her life. She's always had it. $50 donated by Jen. Thank you, Jen. Looks like we hit goal 302.92. That didn't take too long. Are we done?
No.
My God.
They all came in when we were on the phone, and then I don't like to put donations in when we're on the phone.
The link is thedumbshow.com/donate. Real simple. PayPal, Apple, credit card, debit card. We appreciate you guys. We can't grift and take your money without you. So we thank you so much for that. I've just learned to embrace the trolls. $10 from, is it Townsend?
Joanne Townsend.
Joanne Townsend.
Look, it just popped up on my email. Yeah, we gotta do it.
We're gonna go to Def
We gotta do
Leppard.
it.
We're gonna go see Def Leppard for the last time.
Yeah, they're in VB and Labor Day weekend.
Virginia
Gotta
Beach,
do
Labor
it.
Day weekend. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. So consider this tonight the funding for the Def Leppard trip. So help us out. All right. So let's get to
With extreme too.
let's get to some other stuff since we're talking about Epstein. Let's do it. This is a showdown between Gabbard and Carolyn Levitt and Caitlin Collins. Holy crap. Talk about some estrogen. I mean, there is some serious estrogen pool going on here.
Wow.
So you got CNN versus the press secretary and DNI. This should be this is like a Royal Rumble. This is good stuff. This should earn price of admission. Let's watch it.
Just on this, Director Gabbard, you referenced the past intelligence reports and assessments on this, including that 2017 one that was signed off, as Ed noted, by every Republican on the Senate Intelligence Community, including the acting chair of the time, now Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who said in a statement that they did not find any evidence of Russian collusion, but they did find, however, is very troubling, and they found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling. One, are you saying that he's wrong in that statement that he made then? And secondly, what would you say to people who believe that you're only releasing these documents now to improve your standing with the president after he said that your intelligence assessments were wrong?
Well, first, I want to correct something that you stated, which was citing the Senate Intelligence Committee's report as being one and the same. I think you said the intelligence community. The Senate Intelligence Committee has a very different function than the Office of the Director of National Intelligence.
Just a little.
The evidence and the intelligence that has been declassified and released is irrefutable. I'm going to let Caroline speak to Secretary Rubio.
I'll speak to both questions. First, on Secretary Rubio, he put out a statement in 2020 following that Senate Intelligence Committee report, and he said what they found is troubling. We found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling, which the Director of National Intelligence just confirmed for all of you, that Russia was trying to sow distrust and chaos. But what's the outrage in this that Secretary Rubio did not say at the time, the Democrats were saying at the time, is the fact that the intelligence community was concocting this narrative that the president colluded with the Russians, that the president's son was holding secret meetings with the Russians, all of these lies that were never true. And he also said at that time, we discovered deeply troubling actions taken by the FBI under Comey, particularly their acceptance and willingness to rely on the Steele dossier without verifying its methodology or sourcing. The Steele dossier that many outlets in this room ran as the gospel truth, and it was cooked up and paid for by the Clinton campaign. As for your second question, Caitlin, I think who is saying that she would release this to try to boost her standing with the president? Who has said that? Well, the president has publicly undermined her when it came to Iran. He said she was wrong. He told me that she didn't know what she was talking about. That was on Air Force One on camera. The only people who are suggesting that the Director of National Intelligence would release evidence to try to boost her standing with the president are the people in this room who constantly try to sow distrust and chaos amongst the president's cabinet, and it is not working. I will just answer your question directly. I am with the President of the United States every day. He has the utmost confidence in Director Gabbard. He always has. He continues to. And that is true of his entire cabinet, who is all working as one team to deliver on the promises this president made.
There you go.
That is the unification that we need to show from now on.
Yes.
Impervious, bulletproof, fuck you.
Stand together.
Just tell them to fuck off. That's it. Say, Caitlin, you know what? You're in timeout for 24 hours. We're not going to call on you until tomorrow. You're done. Next. Just shut them down. Say, you just brought up Iran. What does that have to do with Jeffrey Epstein? Are you saying that the B-2 bombers took out Jeffrey Epstein? Is that what you're saying? Why are you asking? So he had a conflict with Director Tulsi Gabbard about Iran. Donald Trump has had conflict with many intelligence officials. He gets his sources not just from the intelligence officials, but people he speaks to in meetings, world leaders. He has other sources of information. And he's going to make the best decision he can with having all sources of information. And if you believe that all intelligence agencies share information and have unilateral cohesion, you've never worked intel. Take it from somebody who has. Just because the FBI knows something, it doesn't mean that the DNI does. And just because the CIA does, doesn't mean that NSO does. Or the NRO does. So for them to sit there and say that she's wrong, well, Tulsi Gabbard was obviously incorrect. because I want you to look at what happened with these strikes. And what the media said is that they didn't hit these places. Is Iran re-enriching uranium right now? No, they're not. They've got 45 more days before they said it was set back 90 days. They've got 45 more days. So Iran should be enriching uranium in 45 days. Is that right, Liv?
Yes.
Okay. And when they're not, what are we going to say? Are we going to call them liars? Are we going to apologize? No. The media is going to wash it away and say, well, it was 90 to 120 days. We even thought that maybe it might be on the side of 6 months. And then they're going to move the goalposts again and again and again. When we told you what happened, they were obliterated.
Yep.
This is why you shouldn't listen to the legacy media, because they're in it to sell newspapers. That's what happened. Holy shit.
Bobby Richardson, from my son, he loves the show, 77, 74.
Tell your son hello and thank you. We need it.
Mel had a question. She sent it to me. Did Matt see Brett Baer's interview with Comey today?
No. Is it that good? Let me play Eli and then we'll do it. I want to show you this with Eli. Eli's running for office again. I'm going to try to get him on. We haven't talked to Eli in 4 years.
Since he was running, yeah.
Yeah, and he's run twice since then, which is crazy. So this is his this will be his second run. So he did his first two. This will be his third run. He did his first two, then his second two, and now here's an extended. And good for him for staying in. And he's doing great work, but I want you to listen to this. This is what's wrong with our country. The Biden administration set up a hotline so that unaccompanied minors could call in if they had trouble with the strangers they were being placed with when they came across illegally over the border. Liv, did you hear me?
I did.
What did I say?
You said Obama set up a 1-800 number.
It wasn't Obama, it was Biden.
Biden soon.
65,000 calls went unanswered. Children calling for help after they were smuggled across the border illegally. Unvaccinated, unaccompanied, 65,000 kids reached out for help, and Biden's administration didn't do a fucking thing. This is why I love Eli Crane. And I understand he's busy, and I'm going to reach out to him, and I hope he comes on again. I really do. I know he's big time now. I know he's been on some major shows, but he needs to get his butt back on here. Watch this.
And you're telling this committee that the Biden administration, while they were letting all of these unaccompanied minors into the country, and as we've talked about today, they weren't keeping track of them, they issued these kids a hotline that they could call if they had trouble with the sponsor family that they were put with. And you're saying that 65,000 calls to this hotline designated to protect these kids went unanswered? Is that what you're telling this committee?
Yes, sir.
Wow. So you're telling this committee
65. I mean, right there. Shouldn't that be a jail term?
Yeah.
Shouldn't somebody go to prison for that? I mean, I can understand it maybe 600, 60, maybe even 6,000. Okay, fine. 21 million people illegal, maybe 6,000 phone calls were missed and returned. 65,000 were never answered. How many of those kids never got to a phone? How many of those kids had their phone stolen by the coyote or mule that brought them over? How many people had it by their sex traffickers who took it away and gave them to their new handlers, their new homes, which they were being sex trafficked to?
How many of those kids died and what they went through?
But these people care about Epstein. I figured you didn't hear that anywhere else today, so I figured I'd tell you. Because this is why I follow Eli Crane. If you have not found Eli Crane's page, please go look at it, Eli for Congress. It's on Twitter, he's on Instagram, he's on Facebook. Go follow Eli, and you'll get the truth, because he is doing great work. I got to get him back on. I'm going to guilt him. Like, listen, fucker.
That's going to work. JD Stillwell, Connor stayed up to watch tonight. 6 a.m. Football is kicking his butt.
Sorry.
$20.
Sorry about the language tonight.
So,
We're a little fiery.
So is Hayden's boyfriend.
1 second.
He's chickening out on coming to dinner tomorrow night.
I know he was supposed to. How many were unanswered? 65,000. 65,000 missed calls, but how many weren't made? How many didn't have phones that worked? How many of these phones were taken by the smugglers?
Weren't able to.
How many people? Yeah, they weren't given a phone. They were just drugged and given to somebody. Sorry, I didn't hear you answer. Hi, buddy. Yeah, I'll take it in the blue one. Just fine. Just take that, put some water in there with some cold water. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. So this is what we're finding. All right, Dick Durbin.
What a name.
Dick Durbin. Should we? Dirk Diggler.
That's what I think of. I think of. Yep.
How many were answered? Oh yeah, that's a great question too, Carrie. How many actually did answer? I mean, that's insanity, right? I mean, you'd have to figure it'd be twice as many, right?
You would think.
120,000 calls answered, 200, 300, 400,000, a million. How many? Here's Dick Durbin telling that the FBI is doing their jobs by investigating the Epstein trial. Listen, if I was Donald Trump and I literally once bitten, twice shy, how about 40 times bitten, 39 times shy, right?
Yeah.
If the Epstein files, all of a sudden the Democrats are calling for its release, what am I going to do? I'm going to make sure the DOJ scrubs that, and I know every single thing that's in there. Because there's a reason they're scrubbing it. He's not stupid.
We were contacted by a highly credible whistleblower describing...
Whistleblowers are now true, by the way. Okay? They're now back in style. Whistleblowers are good. Adam Schiff. Okay? Jamie Raskin. Whistleblowers, bad. Trump's in office, whistleblowers, good. They didn't give a fudge about the whistleblowers in the Burisma case, squealing on Joe Biden, squealing on his blackmail in Ukraine. They didn't say a word. Nothing, nada, zilch, nada. The phone calls, 10% to the big guy, they didn't care. But now whistleblowers are good. Whistleblowers, bad. Whistleblowers, good. I hope you guys are keeping up. Dick Durbin says whistleblowers, good. Jack Talk Tie real well.
Attorney General's pressure on FBI to quickly review and produce more Epstein documents as promised. For 2 weeks in late March, the FBI assigned approximately 1,000 personnel in its Information Management Division.
Oh my God! How many people work for the FBI? 250,000? Wow. So like 0.16%? Oh my God, what a horrific thing.
And hundreds of additional agents from the New York field office to work 24-hour shifts to review and produce more Epstein documents.
Give me a
These
break.
officials were told to, quote, flag any records in which President Trump was mentioned. Essentially, agents were pulled out of their field from their work combating narcotics and violent crime to review this mountain of documents.
Oh my gosh.
Now you need to understand the FBI isn't just FBI field personnel. You're talking about staffers. You're talking about the Department of Justice. You're talking 100,000 plus the FBI has at its disposal. So when he says 1,000 FBI agents out of the 38,000 FBI agents, he's being disingenuous. Let's finish the rest.
Other important FBI work was effectively shut down, according to the whistleblower. Using tens of thousands of personnel hours at the expense of public safety for no other reason than to try to bolster baseless claims you've made is unconscionably reckless.
But that's supposition. You don't know that. You have no idea why the President of the United States and the Department of Justice is scrubbing the Epstein files. You have no idea. Did you know that they did the same thing with the Martin Luther King files? They did it with the JFK files. They're doing it with the J6 files. They promised to release this. Yes, Donald Trump did say it, but his staff predominantly, his cabinet said it and promised it on the campaign trail. They are going through it to see what his name is in it. They're going to be releasing things that haven't been released before. You wanted transparency. Do you think they're really not going to scrub for intelligence sources? That they're not going to scrub for things that are disproven or fake or false compared to the actual testimony in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial? Of course they are. Why wouldn't they? Give me a break. Anybody seen Chuck Peterson? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's in Italy.
Yes, he is.
That's why. He's not going to be on for a
President
while.
Trump has not helped the situation. Despite his administration continually making promises about transparency on Epstein and the existence of records that they have not produced, he is currently telling the country that it is all a, quote, scam, unquote. Last week, President Trump posted on his personal social media site, and I quote, "My past supporters have bought into this BS, hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will. Unquote from President Trump.
That's not what he
This
said.
is the way the president is talking about his own constituents.
No, he's
Who
not.
are raising concerns about the very claims President Trump's campaign surrogates and administration officials have repeatedly raised. President Trump and Attorney General Bondi are directly responsible for the confusion and mistrust around Epstein's prosecution.
Oh, come
Attorney
on.
General Bondi, in particular, owes both Congress and the American people the truth about Jeffrey Epstein, the whole truth, and nothing less.
Dick Durbin is a dick.
Dick Durbin is a dick. I think that's fair to say. These are the same people who say that now this was released. We know this was released, but now they're saying back in May that Donald Trump received a briefing from Pam Bondi that he was in the Epstein files several times. No shit. Once again, you know the next thing they're going to release? Watch, it's going to be this. This is going to be it. Here it is. You guys, guess what we found out now? Donald Trump is on the flight logs. He's on the Epstein flight list. Oh my God. This has been out for like fucking 7 years.
Yeah, why didn't the Democrats release all this shit when they were in
We
power?
did. This has been out forever. This was under Disclosure and Freedom of Information Act. The government didn't release this. Yes, Trump was on here. And if you look at the call letters for the airport, it's from Palm Beach in Florida to Newark, where his Bedminster golf course is. He was on it 6 times. He's on it once. We know all this. Everything they're telling us, this is just literally them finally getting involved and going, oh my God, look at all this evidence against Trump. But they're completely ignoring that in 2003, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago in 2007, that he reported them to the Palm Beach Police Department, that the Palm Beach Police Department lead investigator said Trump was so cooperative and he was the only big elite who actually was cooperative. He's the one who brought the case in his Department of Justice against Ghislaine Maxwell, against Jeffrey Epstein. The lawyers, Barkley and Dershowitz, both said that Donald Trump wasn't involved in any way, shape, or form with his client. They completely exonerated him and said that Jeffrey Epstein hated Donald Trump because he felt he was the one who called the cops on him. All of this is bullshit. It's literally distraction to keep the machine fed. They have nothing. Donald Trump had single-handedly the most successful month of any president in U.S. history. And it's not even close. Q1 index of the dollar was down 11%. He took office, it went down 11%, 11 cents on the dollar. It dropped to 79 cents valuation. The last 2 months, it's only down 0.6. That's not great, but it's a lot better than 11%. It shows stability. Take a look at unemployment, 4%. I'm not looking at these numbers. These are in my head. I'm looking for another graphic. Look at unemployment, 4%. It dropped. 130,000 net jobs. Federal employees lost their jobs. States picked them up. Nailed Iran to the wall. Increased NATO spending, 5% in some of these countries. 26 different countries have increased their spending on NATO since he's pushed this since 2016. Won Supreme Court cases which empowered him to do his job and stop the freaking appellate courts and the federal courts from doing damage to his presidency. Secured trade deals with Indonesia, Vietnam, and Japan. $560 billion moved into the United States with a 90% retain rate. Biggest trade deal ever. Regulated crypto. And it's not what you think. He's not limiting and restraining crypto. He's putting industry standards on crypto so it can be institutionalized across a broader range of businesses. He's actually giving it clarity. He's giving it valuation. He's giving it stability. That's what they mean by regulating crypto, you jackasses. Ended the UPenn transathlete policy, signed the big beautiful bill, brokered peace deal from Rwanda and the Congo, armed Ukraine, and cut $9 billion in spending, the first time it's happened in 35 years. People say it's only $9 billion. Yeah, but it's 9 billion% more than what any other politician has done in 35 years.
Yep.
Take a look at when we talked about unemployment. Unemployment's down. I told you about the job growth. I told you about the dollar valuation. Look at the stock market. Don't you remember when they said we were going to have a fucking Great Depression? Don't you remember when they said the stock market, that's it, it's all over. So, sky's falling, we're all going to die. Look at where it's at. It recovered. It's better than it was. Iran's not enriching uranium. North Korea's not launching Scuds into the sky. China has invaded Taiwan. Things are settling down in Israel because there's nobody left. Of course they're going to talk about Epstein. It's all they have. Of course. What else do you want them to talk about? What are they going to say? Let's talk about aborting babies. Let's talk about chopping off child's penises. Let's talk about sexual frustration. Let's talk about gender dysphoria. Let's talk about throwing parents in jail for having an opinion against the school system. Let's talk about 98,000 IRS agents, 89,000 IRS agents. Let's go and talk about open borders. Let's talk about unvaccinated illegals coming into our country by the millions. Let's talk about unaccompanied children and $300,000 or 300,000 young kids. Yeah, let's talk about that stuff. They've got nothing. Their approval rating is 19%. Chlamydia has a higher approval rating than Democrats. People would rather get chlamydia than vote a Democrat into office.
Sorry, I was cracking up because you're like, when you said the sky is falling, I was like, the only thing I could think of is, does Saunders call you before the show and tell you to say that?
Yeah. Well, that's what they're doing.
It's a 24 reference, people. 24. We're watching 24.
This is what's going on, folks. And it's ridiculous. It's just, they don't have anything. They don't have a platform. Their platform is get Trump. What happens when Trump's no longer there?
Exactly what they're going to fall apart because their entire reason for existence is going to be gone in 3.5 years. What are they going to do with themselves? They're going to implode because they don't know what to do.
You know what I want him to do? I want him to get this stabilized, get the Abraham Accords with Saudi Arabia signed, get the peace in Ukraine and Russia taken care of. Ukraine's going to start launching into Russia. Putin, gloves are off. Putin's going to start getting rocked. And then I want him, at year 2, I want him to resign and hand it over to J.D. Vance.
Why?
And just to say, fuck it. You know what? I'm leaving you better than we found it. I did my job. I'm done with you people. I'm out of here. I'm giving it to J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is your new president of the United States. We'll have a vice president picked. I'm done. I'm going to go run the RNC. I'm out of here. Because what would they run? Now, listen to me. People are pissed. Man, don't let Trump lead. No. It's a masterful move. Maybe not 2 years. Wait till 18 months before the 2028 election. Then resign. Do what Biden was going to do. Do what Biden did with Kamala. Just give it to J.D. Vance. Put him on the ticket. Give him the primary. Do exactly what they did to you. And have J.D. Vance get some presidential experience under his belt. And have Donald Trump walk away and say, what you fuckers going to run on now? What do you got? Take away the entire Democrat playbook.
Do what Eminem did.
Didn't you just listen to what I said?
Yeah.
I'm talking about everyone out there.
Yeah, I know, but do what Eminem did in his little whatever that thing is.
You mean Tupac?
No, what Eminem did.
Are you yelling at me? Is it going to make me understand? What are you talking about?
When he went up and the whole point of doing the whole rap battle was they making fun of him.
Oh yeah, take away everything. Take away everything that they can say again. Yes. Yeah, now I get what you were a little fucking obscure there, honey. I don't know how I was supposed to make that correlation, but you're right.
I don't know. You managed to do it to everything, so I don't know.
Do what to what?
You managed to make correlations from this to this and like out of the blue, and I don't know how you do it, but yeah.
But I tie it all together.
Yeah.
Like I don't just leave it out there and be like M&M. I'm like, what? A wonderful flavored chocolate with a candy crusted coat.
What Eminem did is what I said.
What? Create a green one? I don't understand.
Chocolate.
Put in peanuts.
The light brown ones were the best.
Hey,
they need to bring back the light brown.
I've heard
color.
that. Once you go black, you never go back. So
it's light brown.
But mocha's fine. There's light brown black people. They're not all a struck match like you said, Liv.
I was only one person.
Yeah, you did say that about Maxine Waters.
No, it was Lori Lightfoot.
Oh, Lori Lightfoot. Yeah. And Maxine Waters looks like Miles Davis.
Yeah, Lori Lightfoot does look like that. So, I mean.
Okay. So I'm just saying, can you imagine what a masterful stroke? You know what? I'm done. J.D. Vance is the Republican nominee. Give him all the polling stations. Give him all the poll captains. Do exactly what Harris did. Have the RNC bankroll and put J.D. Vance in there. Give him Youngkin as a vice president. You give Youngkin as a VP to J.D. It's over. There will be no election. It will literally be 49 states will go to J.D. Vance and Youngkin. And you have Trump hand it over to J.D. Vance. Hand it over to him. Here you go. You run it. Give him that presidential experience. Let him just take us home, land the plane. Just crushing. Stop teasing her, Matt. No, not going to do it. And
it's foreplay.
And it's foreplay. And then literally do what they did with Kamala. Everything they planned. Can you imagine what are they going to do? What are they going to say? Donald Trump. No. Donald Trump's not the president anymore. I am. I've been a president for 18 months. Move on. What's next? I know you got all your all your Eminem clairvoyants are coming out.
What do they say?
Lori, exactly, Olivia Robinson, BJ, who's never ever said anything on the show, goes, "I got it." Okay, all right. Mom spaghetti. Now, that'll never happen. That'll never happen.
No,
But wouldn't it be glorious? Vance, Rubio?
No. Rubio doesn't have a shot in hell.
Vance and Rubio are too much alike. You need some character. You need someone who can sell it. Honestly, I like J.D. Vance. I really do. But I don't think he's president material yet. And I don't know if he ever will be. Youngkin, if you want a Republican to win, give it to Youngkin. Youngkin will take the ticket in 2028. There's nobody who can stop him.
Who do you think would be his VP?
Make it Vance.
You think Vance would do that again?
Why not? Why wouldn't he be? What's wrong with that? Serving your country as vice president twice and then getting ready for 2032 or 2038? Why not?
36.
Yeah. Why not? Why not have... What's wrong with being a vice president twice? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think he's ready for president. I like him, but I don't think he's ready. I would love to see. James says, Jesus Christos, Matt, we need to get you in the ear of Trump in 2028. I'm telling you, it's a masterful move. It literally gives the media a big shit sandwich. What are they going to say? Donald Trump circumvented our democracy. Oh, like Kamala did? What are they going to say? They can't say anything. It takes Bernie Sanders out of the race. And Newsom, his one bane is Glenn Youngkin. Youngkin's better looking. Youngkin's has more flair. He's more successful. His state fucking rocks compared to California. And it gives you Virginia. If we take Virginia in 2028, this race is completely over. And if you put Youngkin in, you'll take Virginia. He gives you Virginia. He gives you Pennsylvania. He gives you Virginia. He solidifies South Carolina and North Carolina. You pick up a 100% solid, you have a good chance of getting Connecticut or New Hampshire because he's an East Coast Republican. Youngkin is incredible. It makes a lot of sense. If Youngkin isn't on the ticket, I'll be shocked because the billionaire class wants him. And they just got all their tax breaks and they're going to funnel that money right into his campaign. He'll raise $1.5 billion in the first 2 quarters. But wouldn't it be amazing?
Kevin, Democrat voters would vote for Walnut if it ran as a Democrat.
Yeah, that's the case. But that's the point I'm trying to make to you is what a mad. I mean, if Trump really is playing 4D chess, that's the only move. I mean, come on, right? I mean, it's the only move. You know what? I've done this now for 6 years. I feel really good. J.D. Vance is ready. We're going to go ahead and hand it over to Vice President Vance. We'll bring in Vice President Marco Rubio. That's fine. J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio can run it. That's fine. then maybe J.D. Vance steps aside and wants to go be Speaker of the House. Why not? Why did maybe he can be the majority leader in the Senate? I don't know, whatever. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe Marco Rubio runs VP with Youngkin. That's fine. As long as Youngkin's on the ticket, you could have basically a doorknob, and you're going to have success.
No, we don't want Kamala Harris in our party. Keep her on the other side.
Is there a term limit for vice president? No.
My joke just went over your head. You didn't even acknowledge
I didn't even listen
it.
to because I was reading a question. I'm sorry, sweet. Please. What?
You said as long as Youngkin is on the ticket, you could have a doorknob running with them and they would win. And I said, no, we don't want Kamala Harris in our party. Keep her on the other side.
Is there a term limit for a vice president? No.
You're such a dick.
I love you. It's funny. Are you saying Kamala doorknob? Everybody gets a turn.
I don't know. I was just thinking dumb as a doorknob, but sure. It works both ways with her.
Listen, don't forget DeSantis. And do not count out Nikki Haley. She's not done. Nikki Haley is going to be a thorn in the side in 2028. She's running 12% with independents right now. 12%. That's just going to go up with an election. So.
What about Youngkin and Haley?
No. I don't want Haley. I never wanted Haley. Everyone thinks I loved Haley. I said, I think she's a pretty lady. I like some of her policies. People called her a war hawk. They're pretty right after a thing she said. I backpedaled on that a little bit. But her policy on abortion was going to win the presidency for Trump. And he had to get women. Once he backpedaled on abortion and he basically stole Nikki Haley's policy on abortion, then he solidified the woman vote amongst Republicans and Democrats, and he was fine. And then and then I said, throw Haley to the side, in which he did. Do I think the guy from Fox who is running for governor in California is going to win? I think you're talking about the English guy. What's his name?
Wait, Piers Morgan?
No. The bald-headed guy, Steve Hilton.
Oh, the dude who always wears the white T-shirt with
right,
the sports coat with the bald.
Welcome to Weekend on Fox. I'm going to give... Is he going to win? No, I don't think he'll win California. No. Steve Hilton, no. But I haven't looked into the numbers. I'll look into the numbers, but I'd be really shocked. Was just going to bring Nikki into this. You have to bring Nikki into this because Nikki is going to play. Nikki has aspirations for next, and she had 23% of the nation. She would be stupid not to get her name in again. And with Trump gone, it changes things. MAGA is going to realize very, very quickly that, yes, they're important, and yes, they're really solidified, but their power goes away quite a bit when Trump leaves office, because really Trump is MAGA. Nobody else is MAGA. Who else is MAGA? People say they're MAGA, but have they truly been MAGA? There's only a few people who are 100% loyal to Donald Trump. Eli Crane's one of them. Jim Jordan. But Chip Roy hasn't been. Thomas Massey isn't. Rand Paul hasn't. Marjorie Taylor Greene hasn't. Lauren Boebert hasn't. Mike Johnson's been extremely loyal. But I don't think he wins. Maybe Fox will pick this up and say it tomorrow, then 100% fact, Matt will know Jesse Waters is watching. I'm telling you, man, listen, I'm getting too many people who have watched the show who normally wouldn't. The moment Damani started picking us up, Damani has a lot of followers in the industry. A lot of people follow him. Larry Elder follows him. Tim Scott follows, or Rick Scott follows him. He's got a lot. Stacey on the right follows him. Damani has a lot of pull. And the moment Damani started restreaming our stuff and putting our stuff on his page, we've gotten a lot of notice. Jason Shepard's getting a lot too. Jason Shepard had lunch with Sarah Carter today. The Maha event's going on.
Well, who's
and
Sarah
she's
Carter?
now, Sarah Carter was just assigned as what? I don't remember what she was assigned to. But it doesn't matter. She's at the Maha event, and so's T.S. Dixon's publicist. So we're just getting a lot of notoriety, and we're getting a lot of shares and people who are. So we're starting to feel some recognition finally. And that feels good. Maria Madero, Steve has a good chance. I don't know.
If in California, if there's an R after her name, you don't have a chance in hell.
It's not that you don't have a chance in hell. You've got you get Orange County, you got to win San Diego, you got to win Los Angeles and San Francisco, and that's really hard. It's not Texas, folk. The big cities have the advantage because there's too many cities in California, and a lot of them are deep blue. But California will be in play in the next decade. I'm just letting you know. I think it's too soon.
The way Newsom's running it. I mean, freaking people are going to start waking up going, whoa, I don't like the way my state is being run right now.
Wasn't there just an executive order regarding podcast content rules? I don't know. Mom?
You're asking me. I don't know.
I was hoping you
would
would look at it.
Oh. Regarding podcast rules?
Executive order on podcast content rules. I don't know anything about this. Executive order 14149 restoring freedom of speech prohibits any federal entity from colluding with private platforms to censor or suppress lawful speech, bans taxpayer-funded resources from being used to influence moderation decisions, directs the Attorney General to investigate past government efforts, including those during the Biden years, to pressure platforms on speech. Oh, holy shit.
What did I just
So
miss?
it's basically lifting the gag order from government influence. You guys want to call me? I got Facebook by the balls. They owe me $250,000.
I just missed that. I was texting TS. What's up?
It's just basically a big executive order that says governments can't essentially keep their thumb on podcasts, and anyone who has been subjugated to any type of throttling or coercion, they want to talk to those podcasts.
Right here.
They owe us $250,000.
Come. We're willing. Come talk to us, please. Please.
Carrie says, did you have a chance to watch last night's Jesse Waters show to see the similarities? I didn't. If you can throw me a link. I do want to show you this. September 2020, I want you to listen to Donald Trump here. Tell me this sounds crazy. Now, a lot of us were cringing out. Now, you guys may not have, but the stolen election stuff, I was very scared of because it wasn't polling well for Trump. So when he went back to it, I was like, uh-oh. But this is an amazing segment that I wanted to pull up for you on the debate. I want you to listen to President Trump here and just listen to some of this, and it's insane. Liv, you might want to listen to this.
I'm a listen.
2 minutes. So when I listened to Joe talking about a transition, there's been no transition from when I won. I won that election. And if you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at all of the different people, there was no transition because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our first lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too. So don't tell me about a free transition. 2 minutes. So when I listened to Joe.
Yeah, once again, I 100% agree that they entrapped General Flynn. There's no doubt with the Logan Act. They did. He shouldn't have lied about it. He should have been transparent. He should have been honest, and he should have been open. He wasn't, and that's what got him bit. But this is what they do. They put you in a room. It's intimidating. You're a part of DNI. You were a part of Obama's campaign. You're a smart individual. He should have lawyered up. So I don't dislike General Flynn. A lot of people think that I do. I just don't appreciate the military tribunal bullshit and the Guantanamo Bay and the clone talk and that, you know, there's going to be military tribunals and Donald Trump is actually still in office in 2020 and the military. I don't like that stuff. I think it's stupid. I think it's retarded and it never pans out and it just gets people's hopes up. I don't like that stuff, but I do agree that they set him up. There's no doubt. A couple more and then we're out of here. Folks, last minutes for donations. If you haven't had a chance and you've been watching, like, oh, what a fantastic show. There's a little document that I want to talk to you about. And I'm going to open this image and we're going to put it directly to the screen. Olivia, this is interesting stuff.
Okay.
This was released by Tulsi Gabbard and team. The election were far less damaging to Secretary Clinton than those Putin chose not to leak. These are the leaks. As of September 2016, the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, which is the SVR, had Democrat National Committee information that President Obama and party leaders found the state of Secretary Clinton's health to be extraordinarily alarming and felt it could have serious negative impact on her election prospects. Her health information was being kept in the strictest secrecy and even close to the advisors not being fully informed. The SVR possessed DNC communications that Clinton was suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. Clinton was placed on a daily regime of heavy tranquilizers, and while afraid of losing, she remained obsessed with a thirst for power. The SVR also had information that Clinton suffered from type 2 diabetes, ischemic heart disease, deep vein thrombosis, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. The SVR possessed a campaign email discussing a plan to approve Secretary Clinton to link Putin and Russian hackers to candidate Trump in order to distract American public from the Clinton email server scandal. The Russian Federal Security, FSB, in August had details of a secret meeting with multiple named U.S. religious organizations in which the U.S. State Department representatives offered, in exchange for supporting Secretary Clinton, significant increases in financing from department funds and the patronage of state in dealing with post-Soviet countries. FBI Director James Comey testified to the committee that in August 16, the SVR had DNC emails in which the head of the DNC was telling people that former Attorney General Lynch was working to control me and keeping a named member of the Clinton campaign informed on what the FBI was doing in the Clinton email investigation. The SVR also had information that the DNC leadership and Clinton's foreign policy advisors had heard that U.S. allies in London, Berlin, Paris, Rome were not optimistic about a Clinton presidency. They had expressed notes of doubt regarding her ability to perform the function of head of state, and her election would create. And that's that. That's a whole lot of bad stuff. I mean, you literally have the Russian collusion right there, that Russian intelligence in the FSB. Now, not that you can trust Russian intelligence. It's all disinformation. But the point is not when you match it up with these videos, because this now is really telling. Because I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to bring you down memory lane. Today is Receipts Day, folks. This is just Receipts Day. I remember
some of these videos.
Yes, I want to bring you back down to this stuff. Here it is. Merry Christmas. Enjoy this. Remember this?
Senator Warren. Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities with Senator Warren?
You guys have got to try the cold chai.
I've had it.
It is delicious, isn't it?
Okay. Senator Warren. Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities?
Yeah, one time, maybe 2 times, seizure. I don't know. But then there's this one. Don't you
I
remember?
remember this. This was 9/11. This was the 9/11 anniversary.
And this is when these idiots were like, this is the military tribunal. They're shoving her in the car. They arrested her. You fucking idiots. Literally, she's dehydrated, she's fainting, and she's sick. Guaranteed she was on more drugs. She also lost a shit ton of weight. Don't you remember how fat she was before she ran? And then she lost a shit ton of weight. They probably had her on steroids and other stuff because she ballooned back up right after the election. Watch this. Oh yeah, she looks good. She looks like Biden. Give her a bicycle and see what she can do with a bike. So Russia disinformation, probably, but that doesn't help the case, does it? I mean, does that look a little different than what we were told? I mean, folks, we've given you a great show tonight. I know we've hit our goal, 41066. We would love to overdrive a little bit more. You just got a few more minutes before we are out. But that document's pretty interesting, don't you think?
Yes.
Pretty interesting. Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They're going to release him. And federal judge says that he cannot be arrested and immediately deported, that he has to be taken back to Maryland. I want to show you another video, which is extremely troubling. This is from Brent County, I believe this is a Fox local station. It's a disturbing story. We've been talking about trafficking and sex trafficking and other things. This is WVTM NBC, and wanted to bring you this story. I don't have a lot to say other than they should take these people and make it a national public execution. Here it is.
This is where authorities say 6 children, the youngest only 3 years old, were victimized repeatedly over more than a year. It's an underground storm shelter near the home of William Chase McElroy, one of the men charged with raping and sodomizing the children, as well as kidnapping and human trafficking.
Inside the storm shelter, there were chairs and beds and things of that nature. Into the chair, into a pole. And then people would come and pay money to have sex with these children.
Assistant District Attorney Brian Jones says there could be more victims and more alleged perpetrators. He says the grand jury has indicted a 4th person, but he can't release that name because that person hasn't been arrested yet. But he says we may never know the full extent of the horrors that happened.
That guy just shit himself. Like, he knows who he is, and he's like, oh my God. I'll be surprised if this guy doesn't put a gun and need a bullet, because he's going to get it in prison anyway. If he's not too much of a coward.
Here.
There are some allegations with individuals that we will have a hard time identifying just because we don't know their names. And the children were drugged, according to one of the co-defendants, and so they may not be able to recognize or be able to identify anyone.
Jones says many of these details came from some of the defendants themselves. This has been a tough case for investigators and prosecutors, one they've been looking into since the first of the year.
It absolutely infuriates me, but we have to kind of put that aside and just do the job. That's all we can do.
It could be some comfort to investigators and authorities to know that the crimes these defendants are charged with come with a...
You won't hear it on national news. That's why I show it to you guys, because you'll never hear it. You'll never hear it. I mean, but this goes on. I mean, there's people, Tina Savage can tell you, this goes on hundreds of times a day.
Those children will never have a normal life.
No, they'll never be the same. Once you've been
3 years old.
No, they'll never be the same.
That's the age of the little girl I watch.
By the way, the U.S. judge rejects the bid to unseal Epstein grand jury transcripts in the Florida probe. Why? Well, because it's under a grand jury. I showed a video of Mehdi Hassan, and then we're done tonight, folks. Like I said, if you're going to get your donation
it's about
in,
tribal warfare.
Now is the time. Mehdi Hassan decided to go ahead and sit on a show where they basically sit in a circle, and one person goes in, and then there's 20 people who are basically against you, and you debate them. I would never take part in one of these shows. I would interview each one of them individually, but you're not going to come on for 2 minutes or 5 minutes and basically just spew spew your diarrhea all over me, because that's not the way this works. But this is the show's called Jubilee, and this guy, he's actually very, very intelligent. He gets a little excited, but he does what Mehdi Hassan always does. When Mehdi Hassan is cornered and he's not smarter than the person sitting across from him, he is please pardon my language. How many people do I have on? 151. No, Gail, the children aren't dead. They were rescued from the home. 151. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this word. He is a cunt. And what he does is he instigates and he bullies, and he's like a school. He deserves to be slapped across the mouth. When Mehdi Hassan is smarter than somebody, he's actually fairly respectful, and he asks them questions and exposes them. But when they're smarter than him, he turns into a petulant little soy boy. And this is an example. I showed you what he was like against that idiot fascist. This guy actually knows what he's talking about. Once again, doesn't deliver very well, but is actually very smart. And Mehdi Hassan just completely just turns into a petulant little turd. Listen. If the sound is wrong, leave and come back in.
It's about tribal warfare. Okay. That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the U.K. You're from India, so I don't really...
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so...
I'm an American citizen.
You have your own stakes.
I'm an American, you know.
You're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Not sure how you got that. Okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different.
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants. Settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah,
colonials. You don't look
yeah.
very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
What was happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with.
I don't mind going on a tangent. But what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting.
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from Asia.
Do you know what indigenous means?
Listen. Before
indigenous
America,
people can't come from somewhere else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It means
sound
they
like
came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay, just checking.
My point is, okay?
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these people are
Because you're
criminals.
derailing, dude. I'm trying to stay on track.
You literally sat down and asked me where I'm from. I think you derailed this conversation from the get-go.
By that, but I'm
because I'm not offended. I'm just wondering what it has to do with crime.
I'm always curious.
We're going to talk about immigration. Don't worry. Later on, you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now, you're doing a very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime.
I just got a round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm doing as bad.
Is this how you get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing. Amazing. That must make you feel good.
Do you see? Listen, he's a master at it.
Oh my God.
And I hate to say it, he does what I do to trolls. He changes the conversation and just goes, you started this. You have to respect Mehdi not for his viewpoints, but how he is a master, that if you're a dick to him, that he is very good at doing the same. But if you stop and actually have a conversation with him, I've seen him. I've been watching him for quite a while now. I don't like him. But he's very good at getting people riled up where they literally just stomp all over there. Now, all he had to say was this. All this guy had to do was clarify and say, listen, I'm asking where you're from because I don't know. I don't know if you're a naturalized. I don't know if you're a second-generation immigrant. I don't know where you're from in any way, shape, or form. You have an accent. And I haven't studied you. I don't know much about you. And that's all he had to say. But he didn't. And then this flips the switch for Mehdi. So I showed you two very different Mehdi Hassans. The one who's a petulant little see you next Tuesday, and the other guy who seemed fairly based, and people are like, wow, he's dismantling this guy respectfully. Once again, if you're smarter than him, or you know more than him, or you're on the same plane and you can prove a point, he will deflect, move the goalposts, and distract. If he is smarter than you, he will literally let you hang yourself. Mehdi Hassan, Mehdi Hassan. Can we dispel this thing about Native Americans real quick?
Sure.
Then we got to go.
Okay.
Natives were not natives. At one point, all the land masses were together. Do we understand that?
Yes.
That all the continents, if you look at a world map, they all fit into a nice little one landmass. That there was a major eruption inside the earth that released magma at a massive scale and ultimately cooled from the waters of the ocean and created a massive landform. Now, this landform took millennia to form. It wasn't just like, and then, there we are. But like Hawaii is continuing to grow and not erode and expand much slower than it was at one point, the landmass of the current continents that we know were all together. And there's also landmasses that are no longer here because they have been eroded. They have been covered with water. And that's what happens. But at some point, there was a giant continental shift where these landmasses broke apart. And the reason why is because the sustainment of lava that builds the landmass can't necessarily sustain its own weight. And the foundation isn't strong. Anybody who's laid foundation knows this. And over time, it got too big for itself. And then the tides and the shift of waters and erosion and everything else and rivers channeled and made these places break apart. It's natural. Happens all the time. It happens all the time on a smaller scale. Everyone who's seen that. Anybody who releases water or has a massive rainstorm can see land form and see islands form and breakaway and erosion taking place. Anyone who's seen that. We saw that just recently with the massive floods. Mm-hmm. Now imagine on a larger, more grandiose scale. And with this evolution of splitting of continents, you saw mass immigration and mass migration take place. And you saw tribals from Asia and Africa and what is known as these areas literally move and migrate to richer pastures, cooler climates, depending upon what it was for expansion and hunting and gathering and such. So there were no natives. There are no natives. There are settlers, but there are no natives. And the original areas of Africa, you could say there was an original tribe or original people, and in China, who matriculated there first. But it wasn't the Indians from South America and Mexico. It wasn't the Mayans, the Incans, and the Aztecs, and the Omegas. The Inuits were the first recorded people on North America. But there's also plenty of documentation that say that the Chinese, that a 5-man flotilla from China got to the U.S., that the Vikings were the first person, that the Norwegians were the first people. So when it comes down to this, we don't establish what a native is based on who was there first, because you wouldn't have natives from Colorado. I was born and raised in Colorado. I'm a native. No, Native Americans were here first. You're not a native. No, you're considered a native Coloradoan. And a native Alaskan if you were born in Alaska and still live there.
I'm a native Montanan.
You're a native Montana. I'm a native California. But here's the thing. When people say, I'm a native to this country, you are. Because you're talking about a time frame. And I'm not talking about a time frame. I'm talking about the people who are here now in the majority. And if you base it on genealogical patterns and chronological patterns, that is only one form of the argument. Do you argue the majority? Do you argue length of time of who's been here longer? Do you argue the size of the government and the influence from a geopolitical standpoint? Do you make it economic? Do you make it based off of IQ? Do you make it based off of dick size? What are your prerequisites? Now, Mehdi Hasan's prerequisite is a time period from a historical perspective of people who were cataloged to be here in mass, which would be the Native American tribes and what we call the Indians. But they were not the only ones. And now you have to segment the tribes themselves, because multiple tribes were literally eaten up by other tribes with war, with expansion, by disease, by hunting-gathering conflicts, by floods, by storms, by exposure to harsh winters in some areas. So when you're talking about which tribe was predominant, then you're starting to break it up into which state, which goes back to Colorado and Alaska and everything else. So what are your prerequisites? What are your filters? What are your categories? So when you say Native American, what you're saying is the first people on land in mass, and that most assuredly would have been Indians. But there was not one predominant tribe. There was not large one. It was an amalgamation of multiple conflicting tribes, and some had peace treaties, and some broke bread together. Some made big wampum together and smoked peace pipes, but others murdered, raped, and absorbed other tribes. So to say that there is one pure native to North America is a complete fucking fallacy. Just like saying there's one native to Europe, or there's one native to the Middle East. And you can make claims, but in the end, there's one truth, is that there was kind of always someone here first until there wasn't. And when you go back far enough, this land was claimed by nobody. It was honestly owned by the buffalo and the woolly mammoth and the saber-toothed tiger and other forms of animals that are no longer here. And if you want to make claim, you can go give it to some sort of four-legged friend. But if you're going to base it on who was conquered, we are natives to this land now because we are the predominant tribe. We are the big wampum.
Wampum.
And if you don't like it, I don't fucking give a fuck. I am a Native American. I was born here. I was raised here. My family legally immigrated into this country. And although I don't have a bow and I don't put on paint and I don't sleep in a teepee, I'm an American. And so is every Native American on this soil. They were here before me, and somebody was there before them, and they killed them and stole their land or forced them out by sheer numbers, which is the same fucking thing we did to them. Okay? So we won. Q. Okay. I'm Cherokee Irish. I know West Virginia to Georgia, nothing else but Savannah, Georgia. I know relatively well, even the haunted portions. Cherokee took in many smaller tribes for protection. Yeah. So did the Blackfoot. So did the Sioux. And a lot of tribes murdered and killed other tribes. That doesn't mean that they didn't take it from somebody else. Because if we think that the Cherokee coalesced from the ether and just were born here and put here by God, that's not what happened. We can Adam and Eve this thing if we want to, but they came from other tribes and left and branched out and overtook other tribes and eventually realized that commerce and building relationships with fellow tribes was better than murdering, because the younger generation were constantly dying and the older generation and the women were all that was left, and those tribes would go extinct. They knew this. This is just a battle of attrition. And they came to an understanding that commerce and civility was better than counting coup against one's enemy. Not all tribes believe that. As we have today on a much larger scale with different continents and different countries and different ideologies on where they are placed in the hierarchy of life. But let's stop pretending that Native Americans are the only people who were ever in this country. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. All right, Liv, last minute, we're done. Any other donations or we're done?
Nope, we're done.
What are we doing tomorrow, Liv?
Oh, T.S. Dixon will be in the house.
T.S. Dixon's going to be in the house. We're going to try to get his
Along
publicist
with Jenny,
on.
his publicist.
Get Jenny on, too. She seems like a hoot. We're going to be here. We're going to have a long-form conversation. Then we're going to be on at 6 tomorrow. 6 tomorrow. Make sure 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock West Coast, and 6 o'clock Eastern Standard. We're going to be here for about an hour with T.S., and then Leroy, myself, and Olivia will finish up for the rest of the night. Appreciate all of you. Thanks for taking care of us. Thanks for your donations.
Don't read it. Just don't.
Oh, no, I want to read it.
No,
Stop
I already
it.
took apart.
Wait, what is it? What happened?
No, just
what?
No.
What is wrong?
Nothing. No, I was talking about there was a comment. And I was like,
What
I
comment?
thought that's what you were reading.
Wait, Ryan
on Rumble.
What did they say? Just tell me.
So, do you finally admit it was a stolen election?
When did I say that?
Exactly. Don't read
Who
it.
said it? Who said it? Who said
Holly.
it? Oh, fuck you, Holly. Holly, there's a reason why nobody likes you. Holly, do you understand how much you're hated? I mean, seriously, like every single person despises you. Do you realize? And the reason why is because you're a sanctimonious ass. Nobody has the courage to tell you. My wife wants to tell you. She won't tell you. She's too nice. My wife is sweet. She fucking hates your guts. Like, she'll get up and go, I fucking hate Holly. She's the most negative, condescending cunt I've ever met. But she doesn't
say that.
That's what I said.
But
Holly. Learn discretion. Learn how to be a decent human being.
Come on to chat more often than to just snipe from afar and
Why do you, what, in which world, just go, I'll do it. In what world do you take that I said it was a stolen election?
It was you were talking about the
I just told you what Donald Trump said, and I said I cringe every time he talks about a stolen election. Please prove to me it was a stolen election. Show me. Where's your proof? Please give me one piece of proof, exculpatory evidence, an affidavit, a sworn testimony that was accepted in the court of law. Please tell me anything that you can show me that it was a stolen election. That's all. I just tell me. And I'll agree with you. But you can't, because I've done this. Love others, Holly. No, Holly, love yourself. You remind me so much of my mother. And she is such a vindictive and just, she uses God as a weapon. And
that's what you do.
And you use the Lord as a weapon. And people are afraid to tell you the truth. I am not. And I've sat here and I've listened. You're not a nice fucking person. You use God as a blunt force instrument against people you disagree with because you're too shallow to say it yourself. And you use it as an excuse. I have never in my life agreed with stolen election. And the reason why is because there's no incontrovertible evidence. But I have made arguments that are different than that. And instead of coming on and engaging me like a true fan or somebody who at least respects me enough, you snipe from afar. So, are you finally admitting that there's a stolen election? No. And I never have.
So, Holly, if you would actually just come on chat more often and actually just, converse with us peons down here in Rumble Chat and Rumble Land, and actually have a conversation that's civilized and decent, I might think more highly of you. But the comment you made about Hayden almost 2 years ago still pisses me off. And I went off on you then. And you stayed away for about 6 months. I didn't see your name for about 6 months. Then you slowly started to trickle in. And everything you say is condescending and sniping from afar. And I don't appreciate it. And I don't like it. But Matt's right. I have bitched and complained. And you know what? I'm going to say it. Every time I see your name in chat, it takes all my effort not to freaking roll my eyes so big they almost pop out of my head because fuck, Holly's here again. Be a decent person and stop being an ass, because that's what you are. You are being a righteous, holier than thou, I throw no stones asshole, because that's what you're being. Stop being that and I'll actually respect you. But I have absolutely zero respect for you. And if you don't like it, I don't fucking care. Leave and don't come back, or leave for another 6 months and come back and start sniping from afar again. I could give a shit what you do.
Okay. All right. So now you've got the truth. John Hager said there's more pressing issues. We just covered 2.5 hours of them. 3 hours. There's enough time.
We are supposed to be off at 9. The fact that you guys got an extra hour, like for the last 2 weeks every night, calm down. We'll be on tomorrow.
This is that. We're gonna talk about things when they come up. Sorry, what?
Debbie's I know. I want Matt to tell me to go love myself or dick slap. Either will work.
Listen, if Olivia's upset, there's a reason. Olivia is one of the sweetest and most kind and loving people I've ever met in my life. And if she's gonna tell you, then you deserve it. I'm sorry. She doesn't do that to anybody. In fact, she tries to discourage me from doing it. But you know what? You're not going to continue to degrade me and my wife on this show and not hear about it.
Honestly, Holly,
you know how long we have just bit our tongue and just shut up and not said anything? In fact, I don't care because I don't read Rumble Chat, but I got to hear it from her and I don't want to hear it anymore.
There's only a handful of people I've gone off on. One was Caillou or Kyrie or whatever the fuck his name was. The other one was the soy boy that actually came on the show and actually did the Zoom call and came on a couple of times. I went off on him a couple of times. I very rarely go off on people. You were the first.
Yeah. So
and hopefully you're the last, because seriously, I don't, like Matt said, I try to be a nice person and I give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but I just can't do it anymore.
Just stop being such an ass. Don't use Christianity as a weapon. Don't put words in people's mouths. Don't try to walk in here and try to be the smartest person in the room. You can learn something. And I promise you, if you just give it a chance, but you are waiting so bad for me to fail that it comes off as desperate, and it reminds me so much of my mother.
Honestly, I wonder if that's why she watches.
Well, I think there are people who want to be right so bad that they wish people to be wrong. Yeah, Tommy says, I've watched this show for at least 3 years, and I've never seen Olivia this mad.
Except for the first time, 2 years ago. I'll have to find the show, because I was not happy that night.
I have told people, we work hard for this. I mean, it's 10 o'clock at night. Olivia was up at 7 o'clock. I was up at 6:30
You guys do know I have a day job.
Yeah.
I actually work 40 hours a week at a different job outside of this house.
Can I put a bow on this so
and
we
then
can
I
go?
come in and I'm on here 3 nights a week.
Okay, let me put a bow on this so we can go.
Okay.
You are not right. I wish you success. It's funny. It's the first positive thing I think I've ever heard you say. Holly, I think that's the first thing I've ever heard you say that was positive. So thank you. I really appreciate it. Try to be respectful to my wife. Try to be respectful to us. You're frustrating my wife, which means you're frustrating me. You're pissing me off. What does it say?
What?
What are you laughing at?
No, I'm laughing at you
Oh.
because I'm.
Because Deborah's going off.
Yeah.
Listen, this isn't. This has nothing to do with high school drama. It's stop doing what you're doing. It's annoying. That's it. Olivia laid it out just fine. We don't need to keep beating the bush. I'm sorry for the C word, but my mom does that. And I don't like that woman. And I excommunicated her from my life.
For a specific reason.
Because I don't want to deal with people like that. So try to, and listen, if I was overboard with my words, I apologize. No woman deserves to be called the C word. I think I've done it 3 times on this show. It's not appropriate. It's wrong. And I own that. I'm very protective of my wife. She is my queen. And if anybody comes after her, you're going to get me at full wrath. So I will apologize profusely for using the C word. That's inappropriate.
Debbie.
Debbie says angry sex. Angry sex tonight. Thank Holly, Matt.
Goodness. Debbie, I love you. I really do.
I love Debbie too. I want to kill her sometimes.
I hope you come out too whenever we have our gathering.
All right. So Holly, let's put a bow on this. Okay. There is a definite bridge between the way you communicate and the way my wife likes to be talked to. You should have a conversation together and find out how to be amicable. Honestly, Holly, I don't even know who the fuck you are. All I know is what Olivia tells me I don't like. Okay. Great. Anything else?
No.
Holly, do me a favor. Will you do me a favor? Reach out to me specifically. All right. And let's have a conversation. Tell me what I'm missing. And if you've just been misinterpreted, I will listen. But everything I've heard, what was said about Hayden real quick?
I don't remember. It was something. It
Just paraphrase.
Something along the lines of the world owns her, or Jesus Christ
Oh yeah, I
owns
remember
her,
that.
or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
And
You did what Holly did. Is this Holly?
I hope it's not
you
Holly.
Holly Matakevitz? Holly, are you Holly Matakevitz? If you are, is that your last name? Just be honest with me. Just tell me if you are, because we need to have a talk.
oh fuck, what if it is?
If it's Holly Matakevitz isn't a godly person though. She's a hip. No. Okay, good.
It's funny that you're both named Holly.
Because Holly said the same thing about my kid. And Holly was one of my dearest friends who I loved. She's total hippie, total liberal. And I would love to rekindle a relationship. She would never talk to me, but I loved her. Holly, let me start over. I don't know you well enough to ever cast that type of judgment on you. That's not very Christian of me. It wasn't very good of me. I love my wife. I protect my wife. I was wrong. I shouldn't call you the C word. Okay. That was horrible. Totally fucked up. I apologize profusely with all the soul, all the heart that I have can muster. But to piss Olivia off is a very difficult thing to do. She does not like conflict unless it's with me.
That's a good point.
I'm not going to make Holly come on camera, but Holly, I'm going to challenge you to have a conversation with us and tell us why we're wrong, and help me understand so I can understand your mannerisms. But it seems like you use God as a weapon quite a bit, and I would recommend you don't. Forgive me. Good. Thank you for forgiving me. That means more to me than anything in the world. Honestly, the fact that you can demonstrates that you're a good person, and maybe you just have a really bad communication style online. And I know what that's like. We've got a few people like that. Deborah's one of them. And honestly, Carrie Sprix and I hated each other at times. Well, she didn't hate me. She loved me. She always loves me. She thinks I'm just right as rain. She thinks I'm a peach. But I think she was literally just an instigating dick. And you know what? Carrie's one of my favorite people now. And I love Carrie. And I know how to read her. And I understand that sometimes she has diarrhea of the mouth and doesn't know what she's saying. And I've got to be patient with her. So Holly, if I've got to be patient with you, Olivia and I will reassess and be more patient with you. But you just got to know, for being honest as we can be honest, you're kind of annoying the shit out of her. And that annoys the shit out of me. Okay? Are we good? So, Holly, say we're good?
Yep. We're good. Oh, Mel says me too.
Oh, you just ramble fucking forever. You just go on. I have to, like, people go, why do you interrupt Mel? I'm like, because if I don't, it'll never end.
Debbie's like,
fuck you, Matt. Whatever. Holly, bless you, seriously. Let's start over. Olivia, you gonna start over? You be nice? You got it out of your system? You gonna be nice now?
Yeah, I got it out of my system 2 years ago. And when she came back, I was totally cool until she started doing the same old shit. And it's just become more frequent. Just like I said, come into chat and actually have a conversation. And I understand Rumble chat is not for the faint of heart, because seriously, the conversations we have on there are not PG rated because we are adults. So I can understand if you don't like the chat, go on one of the other ones. But come on and get to know us and be a part of the chat. Like I said, don't snipe from afar.
Can I bring in my big wampum peace pipe? Because me have big magic. Big magic from Sky. Hollies. If you recognize that little beaver.
That name is stuck. People are calling him that now.
So she tried to protect you, actually. If you look at it, first of all, she was being very selfish because she wants to go have yogurt, even though she wants to go have her food because she had a giant shake tonight that she didn't get me my yogurt. But she wants to get the fuck out of here and she wants to go watch 24 and she wants to relax.
Freaking 10 o'clock, yeah.
But she also tried to protect you, knowing what I was going to say, because she knows me and she knows that the last time was the last time. And she tried to move me along and she tried to cover it up. In fact, she was frantically trying to close the Rumble window just to completely protect you from what just took place. If that doesn't help you build a roadway with her and you guys figure this out, nothing will. But I will always choose my wife. And I don't care how wrong she is. And trust me, it happens a lot. I will always choose her side. She is mine. And I am hers. Well, until somebody better looking comes along. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. We'll see you tomorrow. T.S. Dixon, myself, Leroy, Olivia, all in the house together. It's going to be a magical night. We are excited to speak with him. It's going to be fun. And
don't forget, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. All right.
6 o'clock.
All right. Be nice to Holly. Holly, be nice to Olivia. Everyone be nice to each other.
Let's all play nice. 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Big wampum. White buffalo in sky. Chief says, squaw, behave. Or I have to put big bad mojo on both you. Now go make me corn pie.
McSick. Good night. I've never seen you on chat before. Someone new.
Mick6 said McKnight?
Yep.
How's Rumble doing? Is Rumble doing okay?
Yeah.
We have 82 on?
32.
What? 30?
Well, it's also 10 o'clock at night.
Fuck Rumble. Come on, guys. Get some big numbers. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.
Night, y'all.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels.
6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. 6 p.m. Eastern.
Honest,
start time. Early.
Direct, unfiltered. We can agree. We can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.